right, we're live. Get that out of here. Go over
Get
here.
that cat out of there.
Do this. Okay. Nope. Nope. Yep. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast. Episode 935. The Charcadet Podcast.
Did you know that Popple had a dream that we did a bedcast and they were here?
Did Popple say that in the Discord?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'll read that in a minute. Nicky Hill, since you and I are chatting, would you like to do the Pokemon today?
Sure.
Thank you.
Every time I do it, I mess it up. Every time. I'm kidding.
You know, I was going to let it go.
Pokemon 935. The Charcadet. Did I say it right?
I didn't think this through.
Charcadet? Charcadet? Burnt charcoal.
Oh, maybe it's that. Maybe it's French.
Burnt charcoal. Oh boy. Came to life and became a Pokemon. Possessing a fiery fighting spirit, Charcadet will battle even tough opponents. Height is 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Weight is 23.1 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Their male and female category is Fire Child. Abilities
Get
are
Fire Child.
Flash Fire. If hit by a fire type move, the Pokemon absorbs the flames and uses them to power up its own fire type moves. End of Pokemon section.
Thank you, Nicky Hill. Very well done. Nicky Hill is
Very
here.
informative. Whoa.
How are you doing, Nicky?
I'm okay.
Okay. Dew Michaels is here. How are you doing?
Uku.
And Mom Brain is not here. Mom Brain is packing for our. Well, she's
She's
here,
very close
but
by.
She's and now she's coming in already.
Can't sail up.
What's this?
Nothing.
Have I been served?
What? You've been served.
Mom Brain is packing for our yearly trip to North Carolina, so she is not going to be on today's show.
Ooh, don't dox yourself.
But I mean, everybody knows. But Dew Michaels will be partially caretaking the house with someone else, so you can't sneak in.
They couldn't trust me to do it alone, ladies and gentlemen.
But instead of Mom Brain, we have Kirby here today.
Hey.
Kirby's here.
Are you the other person taking care of the house? Is that why you're here?
No, it's Droth.
It's a
Droth,
coincidence.
who locked herself out of the house last year, ended up breaking through a window.
Her
True
own
story.
house? Your house.
Our house. She went around to like every door and window to try and get in, hoping that she could find a
wasn't-
way in. And the
Hoping it wasn't secure, even though she was the one in charge of securing it.
the
Go ahead.
one window in the living room was unlocked, so she took out the screen and climbed in through the window. And she's like, "I hope the neighbors don't see me." But I was like,
Oh, so
"The
this
neighbors
year-
don't care."
So she
This
did
year, like,
all
break the
windows
window.
and doors will
She
be
didn't.
locked.
She didn't break in.
She
It just
dismantled
to
it.
anybody on the street, it looked like she was breaking in. But yes, she just went in a way that was open. But yes, Kirby's here. We're glad to have you. Kirby did message me a couple days ago and say, "Hey, I think I can do the podcast Saturday." And I said, "Oh, well, the thing about that is," but he's here Friday. He made it happen.
I completely forgot about the North Carolina trip.
We're
But,
going later than usual this year, so
Oh, okay.
we're usually like early middle July, but this time we're taking it into August. It's just the way things worked out.
Is the water warmer down there? I guess, right?
You know, we have friends down there right now, and I'd never asked.
Are they
them
staying
that.
in the house that you're staying in?
No, they're like opposite end, but
Did
they are
did
there
they always
tomorrow.
go
We're going to
there,
meet up.
Or are they only going there because your family is like? the
They
family?
started going because we talked about it so much, and they had a great time. And now this is their second or third year. I don't remember, but
They have
yes.
a much smaller crowd, though.
They have a smaller crowd, yeah. And they, like I said, are on the other part of the island. I found out amazing information that I had no intention of sharing on the podcast, but now I will in a minute. But first things first.
Just a
of
moment.
course, Josh Grobot is here. Josh, my friend, how are you doing?
My name's Josh Robot.
Oh,
I'm
that's,
feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
that's great,
It
Josh.
took me like
Switch it up.
3 minutes to do that, to like learn how to do that before
I don't know.
the
I don't know what you mean.
show.
Josh figured that out. I think you mean you're
Sure,
talking. He's
whatever.
there. You go. And George is here. George, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, George, no.
How's the week been, George?
My name's George Mann, and I'm feeling so great.
New lore drop. George Mann is his name.
Wow.
I knew that, but for everybody else, George Mann. There it is.
With two
Uh,
N's?
That story was boring and dumb.
Thank you, George.
Is
Why
that-
would you say that?
Opening up to us like that?
Is
Yes.
that like your full name or is that like a superhero name, Georgeman?
His
My
real first name is actually Forge Jorman.
Forge Jordan. My superhero name is actually Lime Man.
George Man, hamburger.
Let me say hello to people who are here for the live show in the Discord. Hello to Mycrotic and Grantimus and Retsuza and William. William, going to talk about you today. Thromo and Roth. Thromo, look at those
Those
puppies. So cute. Ice Dilbert is here. Nico Darunia, Steve Irwin, R.I.P. SD. Popple, thank you again, Popple, for making my life better. Gecko Kitsune. Drake, Vachi, whoever else I didn't see. Zikamudo, thanks for joining us today, everybody, on this Friday show. Friday stream hype. I don't know if it's hype, but we're doing a Friday stream, so there it is. I would imagine many of you are paying attention to and or watching the Comic-Con streams that are going on, because there are many. The Mortal Kombat one just took place. We got the information up about the DLC. Thanks to JM for putting that up there.
Was today the Fantastic Four thing, or that's Sunday or something?
Tell me about it. Oh, the panel. Is there a panel specifically
There's a
for
panel-
Fantastic Four?
I
The
think
major
so.
Marvel panel is tomorrow.
So I saw, I think it was on TikTok. There was a drone show where
Yes. Galactus.
Galactus came up, and then like
They just kicked off Comic-Con with that drone show, the Marvel drone show. But yes, tomorrow is the major Comic-Con panel for Marvel. But they have multiple panels all 3 or 4 days, however many days it is. I'm very excited because, they're going to show new trailers and new stuff. I guess we could. Hi, Rosemary the Farmer. I guess we could parlay into that. And perfect, Rosemary. Rosemary says, when are you guys seeing Deadpool? We saw it last night. It was great. That's what Rosemary the Farmer says. Turns out Nicky Hill, Deux, and myself all saw it yesterday. We won't spoil things, I promise. But Deux said...
I loved it.
Deux loved it. Nicky Hill, I haven't heard from you.
I loved it as well.
And I also loved it. Mom Brain loved it. She would probably admit it, but Mom Brain loved it so much that she clapped at the end. She clapped. We had a really good theater. We had a packed
Safe
theater,
flight.
and it's just it was a fun movie to see with the whole theater. Everybody, we were laughing. So Deadpool 1 and 2 are very funny. I think this one might be the funniest.
We were talking, there was only one thing that fell flat for me. Everything else, I was laughing loudly too.
Yes.
I was
Wow.
laughing my butt off.
I was
almost the entire
exasperatedly
time.
laughing. Deadpool is on in this movie.
So amazing. It was great.
He is oh, man, the mix of just comedic stuff that's related to the plot, fourth wall breaking comedic stuff, just flat out funny stuff. You're right.
Deadpool
There was
breaks the
maybe
fourth wall.
there was maybe one joke where it didn't bother me, but I was like, but they're so rapid fire and they're so funny.
Yeah.
Man,
A
couple of
it was a
them
lot.
Were so subtle that it took me a second to be like, oh,
It's definitely one that there's so much packed in there that a second watch
Yes.
you're gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, all these
'cause
little
it's been a
I
jokes.
know
long
there were
time.
times where I was laughing where I didn't hear some of the stuff that was said
Yeah.
right after
It's
too.
been a long time since I've gone to see a movie the second time in the theater. I might do it this time.
This would be a good one to do.
I
'cause
was
it's
thinking
great.
it was a long time since I've seen a movie where I laughed that much in the theater. I can't remember the last time I was laughing that much in a movie theater. It's great. I will say this: do yourself a favor. If you can see it before things are spoiled, go see it, because
Don't
there's
even watch
multiple
a trailer.
things.
If you haven't seen the trailers, I don't know how you could have not. But I don't know how I missed them. I didn't, and I had no spoilers for me. And it was
You
amazing.
didn't see any
There-
of the trailers?
I didn't know. Yeah,
There are so
I
many
stayed
things
away.
in this.
I stayed away from trailers for the most part, and then something popped up, and I was just like, oh no! I think I went to see a movie, and the trailer was there. Same thing happened with what was the trailer we saw yesterday?
Oh, Trap.
Oh, Trap.
Yeah,
The
now
new-
I'm
the
like
new
bummed
trailer
out
for
on Trap
and
because
it's
I saw
like,
so
it's
much of
showing
it.
us everything that
We didn't see a Trap trailer. We saw Captain America. We saw Alien Romulus. We saw Joker Part 2,
Oh, we didn't
whatever
see
it's
Joker.
called.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. We
We
didn't get to see that
saw
one.
I'm blanking on the other one,
we
but
saw one or two that were like I mean, it's Deadpool. You expect the trailers to be for like more mature horror, whatever.
One
And
of them was a Red Band trailer. What movie was that? I don't even.
was that the?
Oh, that was the
Speak No
Romulus.
Evil?
Yes,
Oh.
because
Oh
he drops
yeah,
the
they
F-bomb in
remade
it.
Speak No Evil,
did
and
not see that
why are they?
That's
that?
the one with Gene Wilder
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
No, of course that would be amazing. Actually, I don't want that remade either.
Malik
but-
Halo, if I didn't say hi. Hi.
But I can't remember. There was one trailer that I was like, wow, this is more like I'd expect this in front of like a PG or light PG-13 Marvel movie, not Deadpool.
Man, there was another trailer we saw, and I'm blanking. We saw 4 trailers,
But
and I'm
so
thinking of 3 of
the
them.
Trap teaser.
Oh, Wicked.
Oh, we saw Wicked.
Yeah,
Oh,
we saw
God.
that too.
The Trap teaser. We were all like, wow, this could be interesting. It's an interesting
John
take.
Reggie.
We'll wonder how it's all going to play out. This new trailer, it's like, here's everything.
It shows you like every little clever
Well, I
trick
did
he's gonna
not
do,
see
and it's
that
like,
trailer, so I will try.
and
And
we
avoid
both
that
looked
then.
at each other after that, and we were like, wow, I really wanted to
Yeah,
see
it's-
that,
That seemed
and now
like-
I really don't care.
That seemed like the Wicked trailer to me. I didn't have any intention. I got nothing against the movie, but I wasn't going to see it. But the Wicked trailer, I was like, we've
Showed
seen
you
the whole
everything.
movie. We've seen the
Also,
whole movie.
we walked into the theater, and
this is amazing. In
I
a weird
don't
way.
remember the group that's doing it, but there's like a group that brings together students or whatever, and they're making films.
Mm-hmm.
We got in the theater like 5 minutes before the movie and sat down, and there's like this weird ad thing, and it just kept going, and there was no product.
But it wasn't.
was
It
just a
wasn't like
story.
an ad. It was a short film,
Yes.
and it had like a Jordan Peele tone. There was like a lot of like really creepy
it was like
music,
a Black Mirror
and,
style like thriller.
and you could tell that it was like nothing. It was normal. It was like a woman
Name
with
a
her
woman.
with her daughter living in an apartment, and she's like she has her own YouTube channel. So it's like normal, but the music and the ambiance made it so creepy. And we were looking at each other for literally 5 minutes. The movie's supposed to start at 1:30, or sorry, 3:30, and it was 3:20. It was 3:20, like 7, and this thing is still on. And I was like, and I'm
and
like,
Dude's
I
like,
thought you were in the
I
wrong
gotta go
I
talk
was-
to somebody.
I was freaking out. I was like, do I have to go talk to someone? And then I was like, and it was kind of like a mature short film. And I know we were in an R-rated movie, and I'm no princess, but like, I was like, what? Like, why are they showing this? Like, it was
Yeah.
horrifying. Like, it was about. I don't even want to tell you what it was about.
really
It was awful.
uncomfortable.
You
There
don't
were
need to
not a
tell
lot
me
of.
what it was about because I also saw it. But
You
not,
watched it.
not yesterday. We saw it a few. Man, what movie did we see that in? And the same thing happened. We walked into the theater, and I was like, "Did we walk into the wrong movie? Like, what's going on?" Yes, we went through the same.
It's also like it's not taking up the whole screen, and
I
you're
can't
like,
remember
what is
what we
going on
saw.
here?
I-
This is weird.
I actually went out like 1 minute before because it didn't look like it was wrapping up. I was like, I don't think this is wrapping up. I
felt
think we're in
the
the
same
middle of
way.
this. So I was like, I gotta go talk to somebody, and I like ran out. And the only person I saw was the guy at the front who took our tickets. And I didn't tell this story, but like he did not like us very much. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go over there and be like, hey, they're playing some short film.
What is
Like,
Deadpool coming on?
yeah, like. So I was just like, maybe I'll go sit back down, and I went and sat back down, and then the movie started. So I
What did
didn't
he
have to
say?
be a Karen about it.
we needed to use the bathroom, and we were like, we were like looking both ways, and we're like, is there? I don't see a sign for the bathroom. Is there like where's the bathroom? And he's just like, both sides, and he's like yelling at us. We're like, oh, all right, oh, we
Both
got
sides?
it.
You mean like pee and poop?
Yeah.
Front side and back side?
Yeah,
but
I mean,
you
I
said
could
this-
have told him
You
that.
said this group of kids walked in. Theater kids filming stuff.
No, that's the film.
Oh, I didn't
It's
see
like
that
it's
part.
like a project.
I got you.
It's a project to promote like the arts and stuff, and I
Yes.
don't know if it's students that do it, but like it's kind of like, I don't know if people know. More people have probably seen this than us, I guess, but like the Coca-Cola contest that they would do, and
yep.
people. So it was kind of I was looking at him like it kind of has this feel, and I'm kind of waiting for like the branded punchline, and it
Mm.
just kept going, and it was like, oh, this isn't over.
It was, yeah,
This
it
is-
was
this is-
weird.
This is
I hate
is a film?
commercials more than anything. And I think I turned to you and I was like, I think I'd rather watch the commercials because it was making me feel so uncomfortable. And I didn't want to feel that way. I was there for like a fun rated R movie, not like this horrible rated
Thanks,
R movie
Gramus.
that was like so heart wrenching,
But hey,
gut wrenching.
props to the filmmakers.
I mean,
Oh, that's right.
it wasn't bad. It's just
No.
I wasn't
Well,
expecting
yeah, when
to
you're not
watch
ready
that.
for something like
Yes.
that.
And like,
Is
I
that
mean,
what you signed up for?
You need, like
Yeah,
a
I
little
just-
logo or something in the corner,
Did
like
you-
like you are in the correct
That-
movie.
yeah,
It
just
doesn't
a
have to
little
say that, but
something.
just a little branding.
That
or
makes
something.
me remember
Before
though.
the cinema.
Did you watch the Hot Ones with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds?
Only saw bits and pieces.
No, I haven't seen it.
Did you hear Ryan Reynolds' plan? What he wanted to do with Deadpool? Can I talk about this? Is it a spoiler?
I
for
didn't
Hot
see
Ones?
it, so I don't know.
Is that a spoiler?
Well, it's a
for Hot
spoiler
Ones?
for Hot Ones.
I don't know how hardcore Hot Ones.
He
fans
basically
are.
wanted to make
Oh, I think I may have heard this.
a whole different movie
And make it bad on purpose.
and like and promote the bad movie,
Yeah.
and it's like a terrible buddy cop sort of movie.
Oh man.
And so like people would go and sit down and they'd go to watch this movie, and then within the first 5 minutes, like the Marvel logo comes up and it spoofs you. I mean, they
That's
did
so
that.
funny.
They did that with the first one, with like
Mhm.
the advertisements and stuff. Like everything was like, oh, this is a. They didn't really do it, but they advertised it. It came out at Valentine's Day. Everything was about this is a love story.
Yeah.
And like, I think there was one trailer that was like very heavy on the love story side before it like shows you like flashes of Deadpool stuff.
Well, when the Marvel logo played in the beginning of this movie, there's that audio that I won't spoil that's on there, and like you and I were looking at each other because it sounded like some like autistic kid or something behind us. I was like, what is this? But yeah, I don't know. It was just a fun movie theater experience from top to bottom. Even with I'd say even with our foibles that we went through, we actually had tickets for a Friday show, and we showed up on Thursday.
I was looking at tickets online, and the times were a little off. It was like a far
High
drive
blood
to
ocean.
get there, so like the timing was going to be hard. And then like I checked back again, and I was like, dude, they added more screenings. What do you think of this one? And I sent him a screenshot of it, and I like circled seats, and I was like, they added more screenings, so it won't be that crowded. This will be great. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. This will be awesome. We get there, and I swipe my thing, and it was for Friday, not Thursday. And I panicked because I knew that the other one screening, it was like the promotional like Friends of Deadpool screening where you get like a keychain or whatever. That one was packed, and I knew it was packed. And I'm like, I don't really want to sit in like a really packed movie theater with everything else that's going on right now. And we ended up getting the tickets. They exchanged them for like a 3:30 screening. So we kind of just hung out.
So,
and walked
sorry,
around.
we don't have any Deadpool for today, but we do have a short film you might be
Oh,
interested in.
no. So the woman at the counter goes, "What movie are you going to see?" I go, I totally blanked. And I'm like, werewolf?
He said werewolf.
Wow.
Well, it also is because as we're walking in, we see the poster with Kit Harington for some movie that he's going to be a werewolf. And like, so that's in my head.
Werewolf
and Wolverine.
red
Advertising
guy.
works.
And Wolverine couldn't come to mind.
Dead
And
Man and Werewolf.
and even if it did come to mind, I would have been saying, Wolverpool. Like,
That's
I
great.
like.
Aquardo came out big time, and they had this display too of like the popcorn bucket with the Wolverine face, and then there was like the dead head or whatever his face, like that skeleton head, and they had all this stuff, and there's like this giant, it's like the size of an iPad, this giant sign right in front of it that says, "Please do not touch the display." You have to reach around it to touch these things.
Not around.
And like he's just like, "Oh, look at these!" Like she's right here exchanging the tickets, and he's like, "Oh, look at these!" He's like touching every one of them and looking at them and moving them, and I'm like, "The sign says."
That's so good.
And he was really
I was in
embarrassed.
a really bad place.
But she was very cool. I mean, she was like, it was like a teenager, so she didn't care. She was like, "I don't care, touch it all you want," But
there
it
wasn't
was
a lot of people there. Like, I bet if it was crowded and people are stopping to fondle the goods, then
But yeah, it was the guy that took the tickets that seemed to be the manager, and he
wasn't
didn't
even-
like us too much.
she wasn't going to give us
I
tickets.
can understand why. Well, not you. But.
She wasn't going to give us tickets. She was just like, "You just come back.
She
I
wrote us a
reserved your seats."
post-it note.
And we're like, "Whoa!
Oh.
Like, how are we going to get into the theater?" And I look at Dew and I'm like, should we like take a selfie with the guy at the front so that he can remember us?
And I was like, we definitely should, because the guy was real nice to us when we first walked in. So I was like, oh, he'll be down with that. And then when we went up to him, and I just wanted to double check that a Post-it note would get us back in.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey man, you're gonna see us in about 2 hours. Come back with this Post-it note. And he was like, why didn't she give you a ticket? Then it was a whole thing. Then he was kind of like put out, and then I couldn't ask him about the short film. And then he yelled at me about the bathroom.
This is so good. He's like, he's telling the story of how like he was working in 2 40-year-old men who came in and they clearly
We are 40 years old.
never
aren't we?
seen a movie in their life, never been to a theater before, and had no idea how it worked. They did everything they weren't supposed to. They touched the stuff, and we had a sign that says "Don't touch it."
The weird thing though is that we sat down and I was getting something to eat, and I opened the Fandango app, and I went to Deadpool and I clicked on the theater, and it showed the 1:30 screening, and I'm like, what the heck? And I scrolled up and I'm like, this app was just closed on my phone. I just opened it up and it took me to Friday. So like, I think maybe it wasn't my fault. I don't know.
But you bought the tickets Wednesday originally,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I mean, it was probably my fault, but when I reopened the app, just like in the moment, it didn't take me to Thursday to look for tickets. It took me to Friday, and that's just like, I don't know.
yeah. And we
Computers
ended
are
up
making decisions for us these days.
You
We
know,
ended
the
up
man's
having
just trying to get tickets for Werewolf, and it's causing him a
Yeah.
huge problem.
Yeah, I keep telling you, this movie doesn't exist. And we had to see the 3D version too, so it cost even more. You had to pay them more. Than it was
like
like
a ticket or something.
the 3D movie.
No.
It wasn't bad. I think because of the afternoon, it wasn't as bad as
Oh,
it could have
that's
been.
still a
It's
little
like
bit cheaper,
13.
but
But our
Like-
tickets were $20.50.
Oh
Well,
wow.
our
Right?
the first tickets we got were $9 a piece.
Yeah, I think
That's
we
why
ended
I
up
love
paying
going in the afternoon.
14,
Bad.
maybe
Yeah,
13,
we went
14.
At 7. So
And
Even that is crazy.
I don't recommend the 3D version, and it's not necessary, but it was nice. I
Yeah.
had a lot. I mean, I enjoyed it.
well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the movie. I did enjoy the movie as well. Humor is great, action's great. There's some sentimental beats that I really liked. It was just great. You know what? It's just a really fun movie.
But
So
That's
much
what it is.
fun.
we
It's
were
just a
talking
really
about it.
fun movie.
It's also really well made. Like it's
Yeah.
not like they were just like, let's focus on this, on the humor and the action, and we'll just slop the rest of it together. Like the effects seemed to really kind of blend. There was only a couple things that stood out to me. And we were talking about the cinematography, that they're like some of the shots,
Yeah, I thought it was
Really?
well shot. It was
And-
nice.
maybe that's also because the 3D, because when it's in 3D and it just adds a little extra depth or whatever, and like you can see into the distance and it just feels a little bit better. But like it was really like things were really well composed. It
Well,
was
those
beautiful.
three working together, like I know they are all in real life extremely good friends, and they like work really well together. And Ryan Reynolds was saying how Ryan, the director, I don't remember his name,
Sean Levy.
they were hanging out together, and they said Hugh Jackman sent them a voice note. This is when they first started working on the movie, and it was like they said it was like a 13-minute long voice note of Hugh just going off about like how he liked this and that and all this other stuff, and he's like, but he had some suggestions for something that should happen in a movie, and they were both like, that's a great idea, we should definitely do that. And it completely altered like the path of the movie and everything. And Hugh was talking about it. He's like, that voice note is like 12 minutes of me like losing my mind, just like rambling, and 1 minute of something that I was interested in, and you guys were good enough to latch onto that, because he's like, that voice note was garbage. I played it back afterwards and I was like, who's this madman, what's he talking about? And he was saying that the voice, he's like, I'm amazed you guys listened to the whole voice note, because he said it's like, and then Wolverine could like, oh, hold on, I got to take a pee, and then you hear him like peeing and like flushing the toilet. It's like, okay, so anyway, and then like he continues the story,
Release
and then
the
he's like,
tape.
I'm surprised you two
Release
listened
the
to it
tape.
both, or listen to the whole thing. And he's like, Ryan Reynolds said, well, me and the director were like in the gym training to get ready for the movie, and we had nothing else to do, so we just played it on the Bluetooth speaker in the gym, and we're listening to it there. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's very obvious. At least the main three, the director and Hugh Jackman and what's his face, Ryan Reynolds, like really care about the franchise and the characters, and they wanted to do something special. And there's so many special fun moments in this movie. Really, if you can get to it without things getting spoiled, I think you'll enjoy it even more. My poor cousin didn't see it yet, and he opened up TikTok
no.
yesterday, and
So,
something got spoiled right away.
I mean, regular content creators are just throw this stuff up, but I had like a man, I just blanked on words.
Werewolf.
No, werewolf. Like a conspiracy thought earlier today that
Not
like
surprised.
that some
I've seen your TikToks.
some of the ads or some of the articles that come up on social media. I wouldn't be surprised if like some of the networks or the studios like push that stuff. That way you have to see it as soon as possible. Like otherwise things get ruined for you. And now it's like a goal to get out there opening weekend, and now opening weekend is the biggest weekend.
Or
of
it might be in a couple of weeks they'll push a couple more spoilers to get
That's
people who
what they
didn't see it
usually
yet
do,
to go
yeah.
through
They'll-
it.
they'll name
But I was
drop some
bummed
stuff.
because like I was talking about, we were playing Fortnite last night with some of the regular crew. RMC wasn't there; he was at the movie, and I was saying like, "Oh, you guys got to see the movie. It's great. It's awesome." And like our one buddy was like, "Oh, I saw the trailer and so's in it," you know, and like he said it like that, and I was like, "Don't don't think about the trailers. Like, just go literally." Because I know saying so and so doesn't mean anything to you guys right now, but like if I said it to you guys who've seen the movie, you'd be like, "Oh, well, that's stupid that it's
You said
even in the trailer."
Ryan Reynolds is in it.
So
I
like
want to hear who you would have a negative reaction to in the trailer.
one of the characters, not the actor.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, and I was like, don't even. I was like, oh yeah, I guess they were in it, but shut up. Like, who cares? Like, watch the movie. It has nothing to do with this trailer that you're talking
what does
about.
the trailer show?
Yeah, I wanna know.
it's
Well,
weird.
now
It's
see,
a
now I'm
trailer.
being.
It's a trailer, so
No,
he-
don't even-
he goes Sabretooth's in it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said. And I didn't even know that. So thank God I didn't see this trailer because that was one of the highlights for me.
I mean, there's so many
out of many.
highlights. There's so many highlights, so many surprises, and like
Rosemary the
legit
Farmer-
shocking stuff.
Rosemary the Farmer said
Do not go on IMDb.
IMDb shows like the cast.
Oh yeah, every single
They've-
cameo. I
They're
bet.
so good with keeping it a secret up until the day of, and then they just like release that information.
Well,
It's just-
all the like entertainment publications, like as soon as it hit midnight, IGN was like, "Here is a list of every cameo, Easter egg, and surprise in the
that
movie."
needs to stop.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That needs to stop because that stuff comes up, whether it's a headline that has just a little too much information or a photo or something. That stuff comes up on people's feeds without us wanting it there.
Yeah.
It just comes.
A lot
it
of
just
times
shows
do it on
it's just a
purpose.
photo. It'll just and you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
even miss it. You know,
Yep.
it's like, well,
Like,
I've
I
seen
saw
it.
something about something I was telling Deux, like there was a comment or like a article or whatever about a character, like who the villain is going to be in the next Spider-Man.
Werewolf.
So you saw it
We're going
too.
to be dining out on this.
Craven the
forever.
werewolf.
I'm not letting it go.
So
we
yeah,
don't even know who that is yet. Like anything that's out there is all
But the-
speculation.
I know, but like the speculation, like a lot of the speculation ends up being right because
Well,
like
and
it's
on top of
people
all
in
that,
the know.
when it's presented more as fact or as not as clear that it's just speculation, people will be like, I'm not going to see that movie because so and so's in it, or I'm really excited to see the movie because so and so's in it, and then the movie comes out and they're like, "What? Where's so?" And they're like, "If so and so's not in it, then I'm not going to see it." And it's like, you were making your decision based on something that was never fact to begin with. So that's the internet. Did you guys see the Captain America trailer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see the trailer because I was like, I bet they're going to change this trailer from the first time we saw it. And they did change it because the first, basically this trailer is exactly the same as the first trailer, which only came out a few weeks ago. But there was something that happened in our politics in the real world that also happens in the trailer.
I
I was
don't
like, they are not going to show that, I
don't
bet.
remember
And they
that
didn't.
in the first trailer.
They replaced that scene with a scene of Captain America kicking a table. So,
Nice.
but they did edit it. So I was like, well, all right. I was like, are they going to change that in the final movie? I was like, probably not, because that's not until February, and people will have forgotten about that. I'm dancing around the topic. If you know, you know. I don't want to get into it, but I was eager to see if they were changing it, and they did. But yes, a fun time for all. If you haven't seen it yet and you plan on it, I'm sure you will enjoy it. Have a good time. Everybody enjoy Werewolf. Moving on. Martin Stuff. Last week was Martin Stuff's birthday, and they had left a comment that I didn't catch. They were hoping Josh would sing him a happy birthday. Is it possible, Josh, even though it's a week late, will you allow it?
Smash that subscribe button.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
World's best singer.
World's best singer. You got it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Topics. I want to do Deadpool and Wolverine. I want to do Martin stuff, and then that's it. So we got the Patreon post.
Who?
Did you know
Maybe I did.
that you can join the Patreon
For $1.
for $1? What did we talk about on Patreon this week? Let me tell you. We talked about Ice Climber because it's part of Nintendo World Championships NES Edition.
Is that
And
that's not the movie with Sylvester Stallone.
no,
Okay.
Ice Climber cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Clearly, they ripped
Ooh,
it off
cliffhanger.
when they made that
Werewolf.
movie.
Werewolf hanger.
Ice Climber is one of the games in NES or Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, and I was talking about how much I suck at that game. I've always sucked.
You don't
at
like
Ice
the
Climber.
cold.
I don't like the cold, especially now.
Yeah.
But I've always stunk at that game. So when those challenges come
Would
up,
you say you stunk on ice?
I stunk on ice. I always have extra trouble with that game. And I was talking about how
Did
wonky
you
the
say
platforming
trouble?
is.
That's when you're having trouble, but it still arouses you strangely.
Extra trouble. And I was seeing if anybody else had those same issues.
See, with Loud Mom Brain here, we can talk like this.
And
right?
everybody else was saying how they do find the platforming in Ice Climber to be a bit
Don't
That was
stare
a
at me.
joke,
wonky.
man.
I also talked about, I said we would be doing Patreon
For $1.
challenges
Oh.
for Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. We started our first one this week. There's still time to get in if you want. What do you win? Nothing, but it's just for fun. So the challenge we're doing is the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition Balloon Fight Challenge. In particular, it's the Pop 'em All Balloon Fight Challenge. I don't remember how many balloons you have to pop.
All of them.
18 or 15? I think it's 15. You have to pop 15 balloons as quickly as you can. Our current record holder for the Patreon is William George with a staggering time of 14 seconds, 36 whatever milliseconds. They even have a gameplay clip of them achieving it. Boy, is it an impressive one. And him
That's
and
more
a
than
few,
one balloon a second.
I know. So one of the two of the balloons get popped at almost exactly the same time during this run. I believe they said that on Reddit they saw somebody got a time of 14:33. So very close. They have 14:36. William George does. But I saw I go into the post every day and look at the discussion to see what people are doing because they're sharing their times. And so, I was like, it's honor system, but if you got a screenshot or a video, whatever. William George does have a video to see this really impressive run. But for the last 2 days, it's been at 14:36. So no one's been able to top that. Top that. If you think you can, give it a try. Let us know. But what an impressive run. If you go to the post, you can see their
Where is this
video of
post?
the on Patreon. For
Oh.
$1.
Oh, it's not a Discord thing?
No, I could go grab the link and put it in the Discord if you want to see their run. I'll do that
First,
for
you
you.
got to pay $1, Nicky.
Hello,
So
Rex.
another day left on that. Probably another 2 days to tell you the truth, and then I'll pick another challenge. But boy, has it been fun! And you guys are some really good players because those are like it was. They were. I forget, and I apologize, but there's a real back and forth between William George and someone else where they were doing like 14:48, 14:42, 14:40. Like they were really like just barely shaving off milliseconds, and it was impressive stuff. So 14:36 is the time to beat. I'll check in tomorrow and see what's up. I also talked about Deux. I apologize for bringing you up
But
here.
I just want to clarify
What
though.
a
What
time to chime in.
Yeah,
what
right.
day
It's good. It's
are you going to end that? For people who are
probably
not listening
tomorrow,
right now.
Saturday. It will let's say Sunday will be the refresh.
Okay.
But like I said, it doesn't we're just doing it for fun. It's not like you have to lock it in or it doesn't
No,
count.
but if somebody hears the podcast midweek, it's already over.
You're
We just
effed.
yeah.
Oh, you could still try. Go
Hey,
nuts.
go for your
Um,
personal bet.
What's
I
wrong with you?
apologize for bringing this up in relation to you, but it's a me and a you thing, and it could be everybody else here. We'll find out together. Talked about being an older gamer and feeling it in your bones because, as was discussed in the comments, actually, you have your wrist hand issue, and somebody else was saying that they wear a wrist guard when they play games. I was saying how I can still play really well, and I'm very proud of what I can accomplish, but I can feel my hands not being able to do things like I want them to. Like I have to think about it more to get it done. I can still do it, but it's not as instantaneous as it was. And I'm like, oh, falling apart. It's happening.
Yeah, it's scary.
But it's been like, I'll feel it in other things besides playing games. Like I'll go to flip the key in my fingers and I'm like, oh, this is a little. I'm like, oh, that's it.
My hands have been hurting me, and I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't think it's because of the solitaire. It's probably more so because of holding my phone, and I don't have like a hook or a ring on the back of my phone.
Those pop sockets be helpful.
My hand, plus arthritis, I guess, old man.
It happens.
Stuff.
Hi, Rex. Good to see you.
So yeah, I'm and my handies, my phalanges, my fingies.
You know what? To be, I guess this is good and bad. It really resonated with people on the Patreon because they were like, "Yep, I've been feeling it too," and they were like, "I'm glad you're talking about this because I'm feeling it too." People are talking about the positions they have to sit in to play comfortably now, or the positions that they used to sit in and now they cause them pain, or like hands fall asleep or stuff like that. So this is something that's really resonating with people. Sadly, but we're all there. It happens to everybody. Time comes for us all. So
Yeah, start doing stretches.
do your stretches. Stretch your. Make sure to stretch your Kegel muscles when you're playing games, and it's not fun, but it's like I said, it happens to everybody. And I think if we talk, commiserate together. So I talked about that.
game is not fun.
Rex says, "Good to see you all, even like the opposite side of the planet." To you, so it's always 4 a.m. when you usually record. Well, I'm glad you're here. Oh, it's Saturday where you are. Yeah, still Friday here. Thanks for joining us, Rex. Something else about that I want to say, but anyway, that's that. I talked about the retro renaissance. Now, dude, this is just a flat out apology for you because I know you're not really into this. You're okay with it, but it's not your thing. I talked about the old or new games for old platforms and how much I love seeing that because for a long time, I've always thought the idea of like, yes, the GBA is old or the N64 is old, the Genesis is old, whatever you want to call it. But the idea of it being like, this thing is old and now we can't do anything with it anymore. I always thought that was silly because, for 5, 6, 7 years, you make games for that system. And then one day you're just like, nope, no good anymore. Now this thing is meaningless to me. You can still make games for it. You just have to make them within the tech specs of what that system is. So now we're really in the renaissance of developers making games for those older systems and publishers, boutique publishers who are putting out physical copies for those systems. And I really like seeing that. I like seeing what gets pushed to the limits and what ideas can still be accomplished on those old hardware or those old systems like the NES. I forget the name of the game, but there's a Smash Brothers style game made for the NES with online play. They built in a Wi-Fi chip in the cartridge and can be updated like games can be nowadays with roster additions or patches or whatever. And you can also play people online. So you can take your NES online just through this cartridge. It's such a cool idea. But not a week goes by nowadays where we don't see someone announcing a brand new game for a retro system and it gets a physical release. Just this week, Xeno Crisis, which is on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo and the Switch and the Dreamcast. They announced they're doing a GBA version of Xeno Crisis, and they showed off what it looks like. It's just awesome stuff. So cool to see those old systems getting a lot of love. I also talked about the new Lego announcement. Nicky Hill, did you see this?
I don't know.
Mario related?
Oh, yeah.
It is
Just like a
right up
statue,
my
right?
alley. It's not, the statue, sure. It's a Super Mario World, Mario and Yoshi Lego creation, but it is a giant sprite
Yeah.
So it's 2D based, but it also has a movement element to it. It has a crank that you build into it that makes Yoshi walk, and he opens his
Oh.
mouth and sticks his
Oh,
tongue
his
out.
tongue comes out. I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
It's a really awesome idea. So it looks like the Super Mario World sprites.
I think I saw that it was a
but you build it
rumor,
with Lego.
but I saw that it wasn't a Dues views rumor, so I didn't even give it
It's-
the time
it
of
is
day.
the real deal. People commented on Patreon saying that they didn't even know it was official because we posted the rumor, but then it became official. Yes, it's up for pre-order now. It comes out October 1st, 4th.
There was
It's
some-
October
what did I
for sure.
see?
$130. Pre-orders are live. There you go.
Hey,
I was ready.
I don't have the money no more.
I said, as far as Lego go, that's not too terrible. It's pricey, but it's not as bad as like the Lego Deku Tree or something
Well,
like
I have a Bowser.
that.
I mean, I got quite a few of those things. I'm just kind of hanging on to them right now.
I'm a sucker for sprite stuff, so I'm gonna find it really hard to not pick this one up. But
I want to get the Piranha Plant, which is not. I mean, that one's like $60, but like, it's just I gotta make some money first.
start selling those feet picks.
It's free.
Oh, it's free. Never mind. You're good. And finally, I talked about the Keeper, Keyper, which I've have finished. So I'll save that talk for later in the show.
Is the game fun?
The game was fun, Reggie. Thank you for asking. I'll get into the details later on in the episode. But that's it. That's our Patreon post. So we could go into top stories. Do if you can cue up that jingle. Oh, he's good. He's good.
Finally.
Not too many top stories this week, but we got some really interesting ones. So first things first, Nintendo at Nintendo Kyoto, Tokyo, and Osaka showed off new Gashapon collections.
That's how you pronounce it.
Osaka. Yes, that is how you pronounce it.
Wow.
Here's my trick to pronouncing Japanese things right. Read them, and whatever you think is right is wrong. However you would pronounce it as an English speaker is almost always incorrect.
I wouldn't have a problem.
It's like, we would say Yakuza, but it's Yakuza.
Whoa, there's some Fortnite
Do I
stuff
have
in
to be?
Lego too.
Oh, cool. Look at that.
It's
battle
true, yes, the
bus.
battle bus and Peely,
Peely
and they
Bone.
announced a whole bunch
Thank
of stuff.
Durburger.
Thank goodness there's not a little whip Lego figure because I'd have
Not
to get
yet,
it.
not
Supply
yet.
Llama.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's all right. I
Oh,
covered that. I covered that news this week.
golly.
So anyway, at
Golly.
Nintendo Tokyo, Osaka, and whatever I said, Kyoto, they have released through Gashapon machines controller button collections.
Oh.
So they had one round of these already that was NES and Famicom. Now they have a new collection. Let me explain what these are. They're little keychains that have little buttons from NES controllers on them. So like the AB button or the directional pad. For the new batch that came out, they have the Super Nintendo face buttons or the Super Famicom face buttons. So, blue, yellow, red, or green, or for us, gray and purple, I guess you would call them. They also have a collection of GameCube. So it's a little circle keychain that has the A buttons, the lima bean X and Y, and the smaller red B. They also have one that is the C stick, or as we call it, the C button. And then they have the N64. They have two for that. One is the thumbstick for the N64, and one is the button layout on the N64. So the A and B buttons and then the camera control buttons. So you get those in little keychains. The only way you can get them is through the Gashapon machines at these locations. You cannot buy them online. So that means you can't get the ones you want. You put in your change,
And
you
just go-
turn the knob, and you get whatever you get.
Yeah, it's the same as
Any other
the
Gashapon
blind
machine.
boxes
Yes,
that we have here.
exactly.
And stuff.
So people saw these, were very excited for them. The story continues. The day they launched, these stores throughout Japan had lines out the door with people looking to get these things. And people were Poopaloop. You guys might remember Poopaloop. He had a first-hand account because he lives in Japan now. He saw the lines. He was in them. He tried to get the things that he wanted to get, and he couldn't get everything he wanted. So what happened outside of the stores were huge groups of people
Trading.
who were trading. They're like, I got two N64 joysticks. If you give me a Super Nintendo, I'll give
What
you a
a
joystick.
community to be
Great stuff.
trading and not like scalping or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure that's also happening. But
Yeah,
yes,
but-
there's a great group of people out front of the stores who are like, I'll trade you this for that. It's a cool idea. So people could complete their collections. The story doesn't stop there. Why do people want these collections so bad? Just a cool thing to collect if you're a Nintendo dork like myself. But it goes beyond that. You can use these
Yeah, you can use it.
on the actual controllers. Nintendo did not make them for you to do that, but they are spec and size to what was actually on the controller. So if you have a busted N64 thumbstick, you can get one of these and open up the controller
like
and put it in,
yours.
and it works just
The one
fine.
you have where like the rubber from the thing is. torn
Yes,
off.
that's right. That's my GameCube one. Yeah.
They're so. Oh man,
So
I'm looking at them now. They're so cool. What a cool idea.
Yeah, I love it.
If you have a North American Super Nintendo, you have gray and purple buttons. If you want the Super Famicom style buttons, you could do that. You could get the keychain and replace the buttons. So they all are exactly the same shape, size, and finish. They work as they would on those original controllers. Obviously, these are just the plastic buttons, so none of the actuators or pads that are underneath, but those are already in your controller, so you're good. The story doesn't stop there.
Man.
Because people are so excited for these, they are now sold out at all locations. You cannot get any more. The machines are empty. I've seen the pictures of all of them. They're completely sold out. Nintendo stores don't know when they're restocking because they didn't expect them to sell out in the first day.
Why
So,
didn't they expect this stuff? People
Planned-
love this stuff.
Planned shortage.
They love
Get
this
out your
stuff.
tinfoil hats.
I mean, I don't know. It's a bit crazy to think that these would sell out that quickly in a day. Like, of course, people are going to go for it, but I don't know that Nintendo expected to see lines out the door, crowds of people trading them, and then
So
people
cool.
using them in controllers too. Like,
I feel like
it's
maybe
nuts.
they do have like some stock, but they don't have enough to keep restocking. So they're like, you know what? Let's just hold for now and regroup.
Even if they were expecting a big rush, they were probably like, maybe within the first couple of weeks we'll restock. Not like, oh, the next day they're gone.
Right.
That's it. So,
How much money is each one? Like each go at it? Because it's a
I
it's
don't
like
know.
a
Yeah.
claw machine, or are they just like vending machines?
It's like a big giant gumball machine.
Okay.
Sorry, I got some Comic-Con news. That's exciting. But anyway, that is awesome to see. So we don't know if they're going to be restocked. We don't know if they'll be restocked when that will happen. But if you wanted them, hopefully you got them because they are sold out. So just a cool little thing out there. We got pictures in the post showing the lines at the stores and all that
They need
jazz.
to do the lottery for that.
Maybe they will. I bet you they bring them over here now in some way. It won't be through Gashapon. It'll be like My Nintendo or
Nintendo
something.
store,
yeah.
Man,
And they'll sell out there too.
Yeah.
I wish
and
they would sell you, send you a whole bunch of them. That would be cool.
Oh, just Nintendo in general.
Yeah, that'd be
I mean,
cool.
this is only the Japanese side of things right now. Who knows what'll happen over here? But we'll find out. Hawk says,
Well,
"I'd
did we
love to
ever get the
actually."
other ones, though?
Huh?
Did the other ones ever come out here?
No. But if Nintendo knew that they were going to do another round, they would probably hold off and do them all at once. If anything, they'll go to Australia first. I don't know why Australia
Oh,
always gets
man.
those things before we
See,
do. but
that's something. Remember that the
Garth Brooks. yeah.
Nintendo Entertainment
That
System
Garfield
that was in the
shirt that
garbage?
sold out. Yep.
That was in the garbage.
Yes,
like
the one
I
you saw thrown away. Yes.
could have taken those controllers and made them
Got it
into
for parts, yeah.
Yeah.
Your own keychains. Hawk says, I'd
Started
actually love
next
to
show.
own one as well. Most likely the Super Nintendo buttons or the NES D-pad. Well, my friend, I don't know. I'm sure they're on reseller sites right now.
I
But
want one that's
I want one.
a DS touchscreen.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah,
Maybe
that'd be
a
a weird
stylus, or
one.
they could
That'd be
do
a
the
weird
face
one.
buttons from that. Sure.
No, it'll be great. You have like a little image on the back, and when you push on it, like there's like gel in there, and you can see
Yeah,
the image
but
back there.
if people,
That's
I'm
a
not gonna
good.
say- I'm not
That's a
gonna say no.
great tactile like fidget device.
fidget toy. Look at me, I'm fidgeting right now.
Fidget
New
Village.
Pokemon Snap has officially launched in China. That's a Switch game that came out a while ago. Why is this a big deal? Well,
Because it's Pokemon.
you need to know about the story of China and Pokemon. When it comes to Pokemon games in China, the last officially released Pokemon game in China came out in 2000 because of how consoles work over Emperor in China. That's perfect.
Thank you.
Because of how consoles work in China, they haven't officially released Nintendo consoles in China in a very long time, although now they are doing it with the Switch because Nintendo wants to branch out more in China. Now, Nintendo's portables and consoles have released in China through the black market or the gray market or the third-party market, just not officially. but now the Switch is officially available there. So that paves the way for official releases of Pokemon games. So it's been 24 years since an official Pokemon game has made it out in China, but now we got it. New Pokemon Snap is available. But that's just the start, because coming up soon is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. Those will be the second and third officially launched Pokemon games in China. Pretty cool. Chinese Switch owners can also look forward to Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, Zelda Breath of the Wild. They still haven't gotten it. Immortals Phoenix Rising, and Samurai Showdown. So those are just what's been officially rated. They get rated at a much, much slower cadence, but things are coming. So
And it's never
cool
been
little part of
available,
history.
never been localized for China either. So
That's correct.
timing is going to slow things like
Yeah, and China's approval process is very different. It takes a very long time. So, but it's happening slowly but surely. It's happening. It's happening, people.
It's happening, people.
Random
question from the Discord.
thank you. I don't get to pay attention.
Steister asks, doesn't Kirby on the podcast speak another language? I was going to write back. He does a wicked Sean Connery impression.
Well, that's not really a different language, though.
For some.
I've been trying to brush up on my German. I was
No one who speaks German could be a bad man.
The Bart, the.
I ended my my streak on Duolingo a few, I don't know, maybe like a month ago.
Bert's gonna be so angry.
I don't know, I made it like over like 200 days in a row, so I did okay.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Say it in German. You did what? How'd you do?
Gut. Wunderbar.
That's good. Das ist not eine Booby.
Das ist nicht eine Booby.
There you go. Moving on.
Good night, Steve Irwin. All right.
Moving on.
Thank you, Josh. We talked about this story a few times, and now we have what is hopefully the end of it. You may remember that Nintendo had to cancel some of their live events due to violent threats that were sent. This was sent by a particularly perturbed Splatoon 3 player. He was, as we learned recently, he was very frustrated by the losses he was experiencing in Splatoon 3. So he decided, I'm going to threaten Nintendo and Nintendo fans, and I'm going to threaten to blow up their events, because that's what somebody does.
Just losses. No, we're not even talking about Splatfest.
Just losses. No, I can't even imagine what the Splatfest did to this person. After a while, we recently found out that Nintendo learned who this person was, and they were apprehended. Well,
I heard they were a registered Call of Duty player.
We did not hear that. I don't know how big Call of Duty is in Japan. But the trial has happened, and now we know what's happening to this guy. He has been sentenced to 1 year in prison and a 4-year suspended sentence. So he'll have to serve 1 year in prison. 4 years he'll be under house arrest. So, like we said, he threatened, he caused Nintendo to cancel events. He sent out bomb threats. He was, the man is obviously, he's not just angry. He's disturbed.
He's unwell.
He's unwell, yes. And now he's going to have to serve time for it. Hopefully he gets some help. Obviously, he's in need of psychiatric help and care. Hopefully that happens. The judge who sentenced the man said, quote, the defendant's motive for committing the crime as a way to relieve stress after growing irritated with online gameplay was selfish, and the manner in which he committed the crime was persistent and malicious. A Nintendo employee was quoted as saying, quote, it reminded me of the Kyoto animation arson and murder case, and I was terrified, end quote. Yes. Well, we won't get into the specifics of that, but obviously, as I said, arson and murder, not good at all. It's an infamous story in Japan, and a sad one at that. But thankfully, this man did not commit any acts, just threatened and was stopped before he could commit an act. So ends well for us. Hopefully it ends well for him with psychiatric help, but that is the end of the story. Martin Stuff says, yep, that'll happen when you do that. I mean, yeah, consequences for actions. That's what happens. So may the rats eat your eyes! I'm just glad it happened, and safely for everybody, including the person that made the threat. So that's all you can hope for. North America, what do we got this week? I'll tell you.
You will tell us.
You take all your time. I know you. This was
We
foisted
are
upon you.
motoring along. Don't worry. I'll slow things down in a minute.
What do we got this week in North America? A Ranger, a role-playing puzzle adventure. Check that one out, people. I'm afraid of it, but I want to play it. It's Zelda-esque, but it's also, it reminds me of like, those slide puzzles where you slide squares. Those scare the crap out of me.
Why does it look so different when it's spelled out like this instead of in the font of the game?
A Ranger.
It's just because I know that I've seen the trailers for that.
It's a very cool looking game. Got great reviews. Available now on Switch. A Star Named Eos is available as well. Getting great reviews too. That's a narrative adventure. For the Elements, Abathor, Aoni, which is a horror game. Arcade Archives Football Champ. Astoria, Fate's Kiss. Bo, Path of Teal Lotus. Nicky Hill and I talked about that last week. City Takeover. The Cobra Kai Collection. Cosmic Fantasy 1 and 2. Courageous Reasoning Nori 7 New World. Cricket Captain 2024.
Cricket?
So I'm waiting
If you
for.
want to play cricket, what does he say? You got to know what a crumpet is.
You gotta
if
know
wanna
what a
play
crumpet is to understand cricket.
Cyber Racers, Retro Neon Punk Drift. Perfect. Daydream, Forgotten Sorrow. Death Noodle Delivery. Epix Rogue, that is the original Rogue game from Epix. Escape Fear 2, Hide and Seek Horror. Exhausted Man.
Oh, man, I didn't know they made a game about me.
Exophobia, it's a boomer shooter. Faster Than Bolt. Fishing Break, that looks fun. to tell you the
Disney's
truth.
Bolt?
No, Disney's Bolt. Fit My Dog. Gallery of Things, Reveries. Gravity Circuit Deluxe Edition, already sang the praises of that game. Harvest Days. Hell Pit 3D Platformer. Hidden Cats in Rome. Hollow Cocoon. Inflatables. Jewel Fight, Heroes of Legend. Life Sim Bundle. Little Army. Midnight Collection. Mists of Noya. Monument Invasion. My Little Universe and God of Light Remastered in a bundle. Ninja Slayer Neo Saitama in Flames. Endpool. Pair Horror. P-A-I-R. Pirate Year 1000, The Kraken Piece. Puppy Cars, Games for Kids Edition, Animal Adventure. Ringlorn Saga. Sanbunsen Plus. Seven Nights Ghost. Shikon Cross, or maybe I'm just not supposed to say it. Shikon Astro Defense Fortress. A surprise announcement and release from Capcom. SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos. It's a remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, of a 2003 arcade fighter from Capcom.
So wait, a couple weeks ago they released a bunch of. Oh no, that was what was that?
Not out
Capcom? What was it? Marvel. versus
Marvel
Capcom.
comes out later this year.
But then this is
7
this
games
is
in one.
NS
This-
This is SNK.
You got it. Some convenience store. Speed Overflow.
That's something.
Sportitians 24. Steel Racer. Summer Intrigue. Tactical Bandits. The Garden Path. The Legend of Dragonflame High School 3. Thief Simulator Heist Master. Tokyo Chronos and Altius Beyond Chronos. It's a twin pack, 2 games in 1. Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus, a port of the PlayStation Vita game. Ultimate Puzzle Adventure Dogs. Ultimate Puzzle Adventure Robots. Uncover the Triad of Terror. Witch Guardians Quest for the Ancestral Magic. And then finally, yeah, you want those games, right? So here you go. Now let's see you clear them. 2. No comment. And
Refresh.
there you go. Josh, could you take us to...
I was heard that you need to refresh. I was told that you need. I was heard that you need to refresh.
Oh my God, you're right. Slicer says North American. I prefer my releases a bit more European. Slicer, great job.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
I apologize once again. I cannot hold my pee anymore. I
Is
must
this
leave you.
that's a Ranger? Is that what that is? Oh, okay. So thank you, Josh.
I arranged that image for the top of the post.
Time for a European release.
Very cool.
Those European Switch games coming out this week, the week of July 25th, the year of our Lord 2024. We made it to the end of another month. Another month with weeks and weeks of long lists of games, and here we are. Let's get through it. I apologize in advance. Conscript. One Piece Odyssey Deluxe Edition. Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus.
Mhm.
100 Doors, Escape from Work. Oh, we all live that horror, huh? Abathor. Agent Walker, Secret Journey. Airstrike Command, Tactical Assault Operation. A Lost Note. Arranger, a role puzzling adventure. Keep a lookout for that one. Raw Meat is afraid of it. Astoria, Fate's Kiss. Auto Empire, Dealer Car Simulator. Car Dealer Simulator. Maybe. Dealer Car. Basketball Slam Dunk Year of Our Lord 2024. I don't remember basketball slam dunks from prior years, but maybe this is the first annual.
The game's called Basketball Slam Dunk.
Basketball Slam Dunk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Block Tower TD. Chrysolite. Daydream Forgotten Sorrow. Diamond Painting ASMR. Doodle Hunt. Search hidden items.
I hope that's like cheese doodle hunt.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Etchy Time.
Itchy Time?
Hi, Zalmasterlink. That's your area, Nicky Hill.
Etchy Time? Etchy Time? Oh, is that really? It's a little hentai action?
You're the expert.
Yeah, but I haven't been given any facts or research. Escape Fear 2.
Here, I'll tell you. It means in Japanese, it's a slang term for playfully sexual actions.
Hello.
It's used in the meaning
God,
of
sexual.
sexy, dirty, or naughty.
All right. Sounds like a fun time. Escape Fear 2, I said. Exhausted Man. Somebody's been playing a lot of Etchy Time, am I right?
Oh.
Exophobia. F1 Manager, Year of Our Lord 2024. Fishing Break. Harvest Days. Hidden Cats in Rome. Hollow Cocoon. Looped. Love at First Sight. Mists of Noia. I think this is sounds like a song by Psy.
Noja.
Monument Invasion. Music Box. Neon Cop. Ninja Slayer. Neo Saitama in Flames. N-Pool. What is that? Like coding or something? Like, does that just mean like digital pool or something? Like it makes me think of
You keep going, I'll find it
They're
out.
piggybacking off of Deadpool.
That's what it is.
Pair Horror.
And okay.
Okay. Puppy Cars. Games for Kids Edition. Animal Adventure. Racing Cars Chaos. Extreme Stunt Showdown.
It's literally just a pool game.
Okay.
But the description says it's a feast for your eyes and your spirit.
Mm.
$2 sale. Get it August
For
9th
$1.
until August 9th.
For
81%
$1.
off.
Ringlorn Saga. Sanbanson?
As an American, sure. Sandban Sam.
Sambanson? How do you say it?
That's for you, Mom Brain. Sunbanson. That's what I would say.
Sanbanson. Plus. Seven
I know.
Nights Ghost. 7 Nights Ghost.
Wow. What's happening?
I'm only saying it because I had so much trouble with the other one. Come on. Shikon X Astro Defense Fortress. We had a surprise release. Was it a shadow drop or just a surprise?
It wasn't Shadow Drop because they announced it 2 days before it came out.
Oh,
So it's a surprise announcement and release.
SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos. Some convenience store.
It's a convenience store game, but it's really a romance simulator. You find 3 beautiful women at the convenience store, and one of them could be yours.
Sure, why
How
not?
convenient.
Oh,
For the real prize.
Speed Overflow. Spy Guys Animals Junior.
There you go.
This is a janitor.
Animal Janitor.
Animals Janitor. Spy Guys Animals Junior. Just want to make sure everyone knows. Stylist Girl. Super Wooden GP Collection. Super Wooden GP Collection 2.
Those are
As
fun
guys-
little racing games.
Tactical Bandit. The Legend of the Dragonflame High School 3. The new what? Did I say it wrong? Did I say it right? What?
The next one.
The new Denpa Men. What's Denpa Men? We were just talking about this.
Like the man doesn't even know
Unbelievable.
me.
Unbelievable.
They
Remember
came
the-
in
Who doesn't know
waves.
the Denpa man?
Yeah, remember when we called him the Fupa man?
Thank you. You remember when Mom Brain was getting some health diagnosis that she was very worried about, and I was playing Denpa Men in the waiting room? I
I
do.
think so.
This is the time of my life.
I think I've looked up Denpa Men.
What was
just
she
a
getting
couple weeks
diagnosed?
ago.
I don't remember, but I caught a green Denpa Man. I remember that.
Doctor cut her open, pulled out a Denpa.
The new Denpa Men is free to play, people, and the official Denpa Men account announced that within the first 24 hours, 100,000 copies had been downloaded. So people love the Dupa Men. What can I say?
It's free.
I get Denpa, but what about Denma women?
They're in there.
Okay. The star named EOS. Tori's Panic Pack. Ultimate Puzzle Adventure Robots. Oh. There's only one Ultimate Puzzle Adventure. America got dogs, right? Robots uncover the Triad of Terror. And
This is funny.
Werewolf.
There
Yep.
you go.
The Apocalypse.
Werewolf.
Purgatory.
Piggybacking off of Deadpool
Perfect.
Werewolf.
Oh my
movie.
gosh.
That's it. Yep. There is a comment.
There's
It's
a
directed
comment
towards
from
Kirby.
Steister.
Kirby, do you think you can pull that off?
Was kommt raus, Nicky? Danke für diese tollen Veröffentlichungen.
All right.
I understood like maybe half of that.
I have spoken.
Oh, we don't translate.
What does Nicky
Steister.
translate to?
It translates to
Something is looming. I wouldn't have a problem.
I want to see the baby.
Nikki is German for werewolf, right?
Nicky the werewolf. Thank you, Nicky. Thank you, Kirby.
Sure. Thank you, Steister. Thank you, Raw Meat. Thank you, Deux.
You know, we got a
Here
fun
comes
one and we
Honey
got
Boo
a sad one. So I'll do sad first. So there was the 2024 Splatoon 3 World Championships, which was won by Team Jackpot in their battles against Team Phantom Thief. That was the finals. They were given their awards. They get a banner in the game. Nintendo announces them as the winners. They put they put together social media stuff. Blah, 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 blah. This week, Nintendo put out something on their Nintendo versus social media account, and it reads as follows. Quote, it has come to our attention that certain members of Team Jackpot, the team that recently won the Splatoon 3 World Championship, acted in a manner that is not in line with our community guidelines while playing the Splatoon 3 game. As a result, Team Jackpot's win will be considered vacated. And the team will not receive trophies associated with the event. Additionally, the in-game splash tag banner commemorating their win will be adjusted, being an upcoming software update. Nintendo cares deeply about our players and our community, and we take our responsibility to uphold our community guidelines seriously.
What's wrong with you?
Number one, what's wrong with you? Exactly. Number two, good on Nintendo for doing this. There's certain people, I don't want to say they're wrong. I will say that I very strongly disagree with them. There's certain people that are like, doesn't matter that they did anything bad. They won. They should stay in there. I disagree. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I disagree.
I'm sorry, it's not cheating. It's they were inappropriate, like they were bad sports, kind of. Or
Nintendo hasn't said the reason. The internet knows everything, of course. As soon as this was announced, everybody started figuring out what was going on. Nintendo will never officially say what it was. That aside, we know what it was. Some very racist remarks have been said or have been found that were made by one particular member of Team Jackpot to other team members and other players. And there's screenshot after screenshot after screenshot of this stuff. So Nintendo most likely, again, I can't say officially, most likely saw that and was like, we don't want to promote this kind of person. So we're going to remove their banner from the game. We're going to take their win off the record books, and we're going to remove all of our social media and website content that features them because we don't want to promote that kind of stuff. So first things first, Nintendo is allowed to do whatever they want. You could feel about it however you want, whether you think it should stay or you think it should go. It doesn't matter. Nintendo can do whatever they want. But personally, I will say good on Nintendo because I don't think we should platform this. This was in person.
Okay, yeah. So like if they were
Oh, what are you saying? The tournament was in person.
If they were acting this way online, it goes against their community guidelines. They get banned or like kicked, right?
They did. Well,
So
it
it-
happened outside of like the perimeters of the game. It's not like these comments were happening in game, but
okay.
they were happening with other teammates related to the game. So the comments were like on Discord and other social media platforms. They weren't happening in. Yeah, Nintendo would have banned them right away in the game.
Right.
But Nintendo saw this activity again. We believe this is what they learned of, and they were like, "Nah, none of this." So again, I know there's the whole argument of separate the art from the artist, whatever, blah 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 blah. All I can tell you is, I understand
I'm just saying
Nintendo's move, and I personally applaud it. I understand these arguments are very. It's mom brain. Are very. It's mom brain making noise, not being racist. Let me
She's
say that.
trapped somewhere in the
She's
house.
packing. She's scurrying around behind the walls. She loves to do that. I understand these issues are very sensitive and very tough to parse and very hard to handle because there's no right way to do it. But that's what Nintendo did. So there you go. Their content is gone. 10 Donuts has found a probable reason behind it. Yeah, I updated that. We learned more as the day went on, and I updated with that stuff. So feel bad for the team members that weren't involved. Certainly, how much did they know that their teammate was doing this? I don't know that extent. But yes, for the team members that were not involved with this kind of talk and were unaware that their teammate was like this, I feel sorry for you. But, while you may not have the trophy and you may not have the pictures anymore or anything like that, you know that you played well enough to win, and you have to... what's the word? You have to deal with the struggle of knowing that you achieved that win with someone who most likely you do not agree with and acted poorly. I mean, we've seen it happen time and time again in movies and TV shows and music. People collaborate with other people, and then you find out, oh, they did this terrible thing, and you're like, oh man, we made this stuff together, and I'm proud of this stuff, but I'm not proud that I'm associated with this person. Blah, blah, blah. It's tough. I get it. It's tough. No right or wrong way to address any of this. It's challenging, no matter what the case is. But none of that matters. Nintendo has the right to make whatever decision they see fit, and this is what they've done. So there you go. And then our final top story, which is a good one. Don't look at the story if you haven't looked at it yet, because it's been a year since we talked about this last time. License Global has cracked or has calculated the data from 2023 to figure out the top 10 global licensors of 2024. So that just means like the top 10 companies that have licensed content as far as revenue goes, how much money they're making, big bank. Once again, Pokemon Company is on the list. Pokemon Company was number 7 out of the top 10. They made $10.8 billion at retail through licensors. This is actually down $800 million compared to 2022, but that's because in 2022, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out. So that's a major mainline title. But obviously, without a mainline game, they still managed to do $10.8 billion, making them number 7th global licensor in the world for 2023. Now, my question to you is, everybody else here, who else was in the top 10? So I want to stress you're thinking umbrella. You're thinking umbrella companies here.
So could Disney be one, or is
Disney
Marvel
could
one?
be one.
Or
Yeah,
is
so Marvel would be
and
under
Star Wars
Disney.
is part
Marvel,
of Disney?
So Star Wars and Marvel would be under Disney.
So I can say Disney.
You can say Disney.
I'll say Disney.
Disney is number 1. Yes, $62 billion for Disney. Yes.
Oh man, I kind of wish you went with somebody else.
So I can say Disney. All right, Marvel.
Yeah. Disney is number 1. Yes. Guesses from anybody else?
Lego.
No.
Not even close.
I thought they were on
Not
the list
even
last
close.
year.
They're not in the top 10. Any other guesses from anybody?
Let's see.
Nintendo?
What else would be in there?
No Nintendo.
I'm doing great.
It's got to be something like
It was like Eminem or something.
like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or like
What would they be under?
That's the questions you need to be asking.
Nickelodeon.
You're getting there, but who's Nickelodeon under?
Comcast. Universal.
There you go.
Oh,
NBC
wow.
Universal
but they're owned by Comcast.
is number 6, $11 billion.
That's all.
That's all.
So, and Fox is now Disney. right?
That's correct.
My gosh.
Oh man, what about Max? Is that something?
Oh, Discovery.
There you go. Yes, number 4, Warner Brothers Discovery.
This is crazy.
15 billion.
Hey, I have a question real quick.
I'll take
I'll
one
talk
more,
about
and then
it
I
later.
won't torture you anymore. And then I want this question.
Now we're getting the hang of it.
There's other ones on here you'll definitely know. There's some on here I've never heard of. I don't know what they do. We got this one. I won't torture you. I'll give you a
Yes,
hint. How about just
Netflix.
Boeing.
great guess? Oh, great guess. Not a great guess. No to both. I'm sorry. Well, Boeing's doing bad.
Oh, yeah.
The jig is up. You know, when you kill
Regardless.
whistleblowers and your planes crash all the time, people get a little annoyed.
Yeah, but I mean, then
That's
they just get
787.
bailouts. Like it's
Okay, your hint is
Ford
no.
cars. No?
Do you want a hint? It seems like I won't
Yes.
get- okay. The hint is toys.
Hasbro.
Hasbro is one of them.
Oh,
Yes,
there
number
you go.
5, 14 billion. Also, Mattel is number 9 at 8.5 billion. You missed ones you've never heard of. Authentic Brands Group, 28 billion. No idea what's in that.
that.
Dot Dash Meredith, no idea what's in that. 26 billion.
Oh, that's a hentai thing.
You got Warner Brothers, Hasbro, Universal, Pokemon, Blue
all hentai.
Blue Star Alliance, no idea what that is. 8.5. Mattel, we said, and then
And that makes dolls. I heard.
WHP is number 10. WHP Global World Hentai Product,
W-H-
7.5 billion. So there you go. So really, if you group hentai all together, to take up, according to our information, 7/10 of this list. But there's your top 10. Also worth pointing out that Pokemon Company's global licensing take is at 91 billion worldwide so far, making it the highest figure for a media franchise. So that's when you get into Star Wars, Marvel, whatever else you want to throw in there. Nothing has made more money than Pokemon as what they're calling a media franchise, which is
yeah, I mean,
bonkers.
every one of those other company. Well, I don't know about all of them, but everyone that we have access to, they're they've merged. There's been tons of mergers. So Walt Disney Company, yeah, it's on the top of the list, but it is Star Wars, it is
Marvel,
Marvel,
National Geographic, Fox now,
yeah, like it's so many
ABC,
things.
Hulu.
So the fact that
Simpsons.
Pokemon is on this
Simpsons.
list and it is its own entity,
That's why it's
is
crazy.
huge.
Yeah,
It's-
that's why
it's
it's
the
very
same
notable.
thing for
It's
like
because it's worldwide. It's children. It's adults. It's worldwide.
It's all of them.
it's Poke, it's Mon.
It's Pocket, it's Monsters. There's something I was gonna. Disney, with the release of Wolverine or Deadpool and Wolverine, with the release of Werewolf, I apologize. Now the Marvel series of movies is the first movie franchise to cross the 30 billion mark. They said no other movie franchise has done that, which I was kind of surprised at, because I know, Marvel movies have made a lot of money, but there's other really big franchises you think would have hit the 30 billion mark by now, but they haven't.
But they've
apparently.
had
Star Wars
30-something movies, so you think they would have hit it long ago, actually, right?
Well, you make like $1 billion a
I'm
movie.
sorry, Marvel itself.
The
is
Marvel
30
Cinematic
billion.
Universe movies.
Has
30
had-
billion,
had-
yeah.
had-
With the release of Marvel or Werewolf.
That seems low. to
Well,
me.
because
because like the last few movies, or not the last few, but Endgame, Infinity War, they all hit
So
a
if you-
billion, right?
so that would be like 20.
I guess it's not
20.
that low,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
about right where it should be. But then you have pandemic movies too, like
The bubble.
Black Widow, like
Marvel
and
movies, yeah.
Shang-Chi, and those were pandemic stuff, so didn't make anywhere near that amount. But anyway, I
We
thought
getting any more Shang-Chi?
yeah, it's official. Yeah, what's his face
Never-
said they're
I
doing
take
it.
back my
That's-
tone.
That was the news story that I went to bring up that I got an error for, because I guess it got taken down. Was somebody at Comic-Con, there was an investors thing or something, and they showed a timeline of movies, and it had
Yes,
names
I
of
know.
things, and
I got in
Sh-
trouble for it.
Shang-Chi was on there, I think, right?
Yeah, but we knew that was
Yeah.
coming. But yes, it wasn't my fault. It was IMAX, and they had it public. I didn't do anything wrong, but I
No.
still got in trouble for it.
You just report the news.
I know, but
don't-
then I won't say name of company comes along and it's like, if you don't take this down, we're going to sue you. I posted that. And within like 20 minutes, they emailed me, and I was like, ugh. So if you're wondering where that story went, everybody, and you caught it in those 20 minutes.
I just caught the headline which is, let's be honest, it's all I was going to look at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there.
So that's the way.
The other thing that
goes.
I was going to ask is if anybody at this table, or maybe even in the chat, has had a conversation with their streaming providers. Because I signed up for Max for a year because that was the cheapest way to do it. And
now you got that bundle,
and you also pay for Disney Plus for the year. And now they have a bundle available for a much cheaper price.
It's a good deal. You can save like $16.
But I've already paid for the year.
Yeah.
Do I get a rebate? Do I get anything, or I just get just another bill? Like,
yeah, that's why I'm not. That sucks, and you're in a boat that many people are in. That's why I keep it monthly, because you'll get those emails that are like, we're hiking our price, and I always want to be able to be like, oh, okay, that's too far for me, I'm going to yank it now. I don't want to be locked into the year. But look, I'm still screwed anyway, because I have to cancel all my accounts to get in on the bundle, because my accounts are too old. They're legacy accounts, and I was like, I get punished because I was there day one now.
right?
It's not, it's only a hassle in the sense that I have to make new logins and passwords and everything, but
It
still,
used
I
to
wish
be
I
that
could
you were like
Appreciated for being.
appreciated. Yeah, for being a long
That
time.
was pretty loud.
Thank you.
Well, also
customer.
they want you to be like, oh, I have to cancel just to make this new thing. I'm not going to do it, because then they'll get paid more. Well, that's that. Kirby,
Yeah.
what have you been playing? You pick whatever you want.
Oh, I mean, it's there's only one game to pick from. I've been playing.
TKO.
I've been playing a little bit of Mario Kart 8. Yeah, one night my girlfriend and I, we decided to make it interesting. We decided to play a cup together, and the loser had to give the winner a platonic massage.
Oh.
But the thing was, we ended up tying, so we both got platonic massages.
Do friends get sexual massages if they win? From you. I'm only interested in you.
Us?
Oh, sure. I was talking about
I'd
Kirby,
fight
but
for
I'll
my
take
I was
it from
gonna make
anybody.
the joke, like we both ended up getting massages, so it was a happy ending.
The real question is, who wins more?
We're I don't know, kind of evenly matched.
The computer.
The other real question is, who do you drive as?
I drive as Toad.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, and it's in a weird coincidence. She's always Toadette.
In a weird coincidence, he is the best.
She really likes Toadette for some reason. So yeah, I always play as Toad, and I always drive the clown copter with like monster truck wheels. Just because, like, I don't even care about the stats. I just like, I want my car to look badass.
You're not the first person who has bought a car for the way it looks rather than the way it performs.
I think it still handles pretty well, but yeah, I mean, what's more badass than like a giant clown face?
There's nothing
on the front of your car.
Bowser knew what he was doing with that thing, man. He knew what he was doing.
You're too slow.
And yeah, I just want to say, Mario, it's been out for a couple of years, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, pretty fun. And like, it's amazing. Like still after all this time, like it's like something exciting will happen in like almost every race.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
But I'm still like being surprised.
Yeah, I still got to get in there and play those retro tracks they added.
Did you get to play the new cups, like all the international cups that they put out as DLC and all that kind of stuff? It's free with or it's at no additional charge.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the Cherry Cup is one of those, right?
It sounds like it.
Is like the last track in that cup is in like Vancouver.
Yeah,
oh, cool! I haven't even played that one
it.
yet. I still haven't played that.
Yeah, that one's really. I actually really like that.
That's cool. Yeah, I tried to keep up with all of those because they had a lot of cool cities, but I didn't see the Vancouver one.
Oh,
well,
that's definitely somewhere in Canada.
You're making me want to get back into the game. I mean, I have for a while, but we should get into some online tournaments and with us, not with other people.
And it's great to like actually have a copy of that game in my house for once. It's my girlfriend's copy. I never actually like went out and bought it myself.
That's the benefit of a girlfriend.
Exactly.
Only Mario Kart.
It's also nice to have somebody to play with for once.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I played. I guess it was like in the beginning of the pandemic we were playing.
Oh yeah, we might have played a few
yeah,
did
rounds.
some circuits. That's it.
That was it.
Nicky Hill, what have you been playing?
Some Tetris
Effect.
and some solitaire, and I don't know if Deux already told you. Did he tell you? Did he bring it up? I played and I completed another code. Two memories. The first story. It's two memories is the first story, right? I don't know. I was looking it up.
Trace memory or two memories?
It's another code. Two memories, I think, is the subtitle for that one. Yeah, I told Deux, like I was playing it a while ago and I like put it away, and I've just been doing solitaire and all this other stuff that's just, it's pretty passive or whatever. And I was like, I should just go back and at least finish the one story so that it's not just sitting there. And then I can maybe do the next story.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out something didn't save properly, or I may have like paused it or just like X'd out of the game to go walk the dog and didn't actually save it properly. But both the autosave and my save file, because I'm saving throughout too. Both of the files were back, like set earlier than where I was. So I had to replay like an extra hour of it, which is just annoying because I know what I need to do, because I mean, it was months ago, but I did it already. And I know what I need to do, but it's that kind of game where like you can interact with an item, and it won't advance the story because you need to interact with other things first before you can then come back and interact with it.
So you had to find like where the save left off and retrace your steps, kind of thing, or
I mean, it's not a huge
Retrace
space.
memories.
oh,
It's not a huge, environment to have to retrace memory, but it was still just frustrating because it was like, I thought I did this already. Like, why don't I have this? I should have a key. Like I've done all this. I should have the keys already. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go back and I have to do everything again just to get those keys. And it's like a bunch of little steps.
And it's not like it's an action game, like if if it's the first time you're doing it, it's interesting. But if you've done it already and you got to retrace a whole hour, it's kind of like, hey, I know how you feel.
And it may have even been more than an hour, but I think it was like an hour. But I finished it. I'll say I don't really remember everything from when I played it on the DS. So for the most part, it's, I mean,
Well, how long ago was that?
very. I really don't. It's 15 years.
Yeah,
How?
Wow.
But yeah, and some of the things just kind of irk me and they seem a little silly, but I got through it, and real happy for Ashley the way things turned out. So that's that. Deux, what have you been up to? Is that what I sound like?
Cuckoo. I've been playing.
Goodbye, Rex. Good to see you too.
Played some Animal Crossing New Horizons. Tomorrow is the bug off, ladies and gentlemen. Summer bug off tomorrow.
Got your eyes on a particular bug?
I didn't know it was like that. I thought it was just like catch as many bugs as you can.
I was just wondering if there's one you really wanted to catch.
Yeah, there's a few the bugs that I want to catch I don't know about because I haven't logged them into my Wikipedia yet, and I'm just when I really start caring, I'll Google what time of year to start looking for these missing bugs and things. But for right now, it's just kind of like a nice morning stroll through my island. But yeah, that's always lovely. Played some more Fortnite. The Cybertruck update is out, and I have to because it's at no additional cost, I have a brain thing where I need to get it. So I'm doing the daily quest to get that, and they're pretty lame. It's just gain XP in different game modes. So I've been doing that.
6 pictures of Elon.
And what's funny is like I'm gonna get this stupid Cybertruck, and everyone's gonna kill me immediately when I'm driving it around. So I probably won't even use it. But
Is that what's happening?
that's what's probably going
yes,
to
players
happen.
are gunning for the Cybertruck and taking those players out because, well,
They don't
for
want us
whatever
to-
the reasons are. I mean, I'm not even going to say anything. I
Well,
don't want to get into
the
this.
vehicles are supposed to be bulletproof, right?
The in-game one isn't.
Oh.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Sure.
That's all I know for sure.
But yeah, I mean, doing that Fortnite's still fun. The Pirates of the Caribbean stuff's fun. It's a ridiculous.
Is Michael Bolton in it?
No, but there is there's a crossbow in it, and we call it the Michael Bolton. Or if you're carrying one, you're Michael Bolton.
I approve.
So yeah, we've got as many people know, we've got our lingo. Yeah. I also posted quite a few more Deux views on my YouTube channel. If you want to check out some Fortnite stuff,
Watch them yet.
they're not. I mean, they're not great, but if you know, like, I mean, as friends, I think you'd enjoy them. You know what I mean? So that's for fun. And then last but not least, I've been playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate, and it's everything you said, RMC, which was it's very, very good. It's very much like Hades. If you are a Hades fan, or if you are waiting for Hades 2, I highly recommend this $30 game called TMNT Splintered Fate. It's a lot of
Glad
fun.
you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just beat Shredder today for the first time.
Great job.
So, but as with games like that, it doesn't end there,
Shredder.
which is the fun of it. It unlocks even more stuff to upgrade and level up and get better with, and that gameplay loop is just so very addicting.
It's good.
You always get out of a game and you're always like, one more, like, let me spend all these coins that I got, upgrade a little more. And now once you do that, it's like, well, I can't just save the game, I got to play one more with the new upgrades.
The push to get you're like, a little bit stronger would be nice. One more level this would be good. Yeah, you can't resist it.
When I quit, I do it before I spend any coins for the next round, because I'm like, I can't tease myself. And then when I go in the next time, I'm much happier that it's like, ooh, I get to upgrade and
you
go
learned
in.
the right place to start and stop the cycle for yourself.
Yes.
Exactly.
I've been switching off on the Turtles.
You gotta play it. You'll like it.
Really?
Yeah, you'd really like it. Because I know you like Hades, correct?
Yeah, and
Hades with the
I'm
Turtles
also
skin.
waiting for Hades too. So
Yeah.
I guess this is the game for me.
It's a good one. I started out switching between Turtles. I soon come to understand that I'm not very good with Donatello. He seems a little
he's the worst
slower.
one.
His attacks are a little bit
Let you
slower.
come back on the show.
They seem to be, and he's got, this is such a nitpick, but
He's got this purple.
there's a
mask.
dash attack.
He does machines.
And I guess I didn't realize with the other three characters how often I do this dash attack. And with Donatello, he does this kind of wind up smack on the ground. And not only does it take longer, but it makes a repetitive noise that's like really, really irritating.
Is it a stronger attack though? Because it's slower, like usually?
I don't know if any of the characters are stronger than others. I don't think so. I think his advantage is he has reach.
Yeah, I don't think there's this. I'm not sure, but I don't think there's a power difference between the turtles.
I don't think so. But then like Raphael's special move is like a real quick double stabbing, and that might do more damage than just because if you're hitting one enemy immediately rather than, like, say, Donatello's spinning special move or something. But I really don't know. A couple of small criticisms I have. It's just like it's difficult to at first to kind of understand what any of the powers do. I mean, it's all written down for you and you got to read it, and it takes you a little while to kind of playing around with it. And it's not necessarily, it's a nitpick for me. It's not necessarily something that anyone else would be upset with, because you're supposed to play the game and figure out what you like. But I feel like it took me a little bit longer to realize what kind of power-ups I like, what they do and how they relate to the powers that are inherent to the turtle that you chose. So I find a lot of that stuff confusing. And then after I beat Shredder, it opened up these like little portals that you could go into, and I don't understand. Maybe I missed it when they were explaining it, but I don't understand if the effects that affect you in those challenge portals affect you for the rest of the run or not. It seems like it does, because it seems like it's very much harder when I get out of that challenge room. But I just, like I said, I was just playing around with it today, and I don't really know yet. So those are just some nitpicks. Now I do have some legit nitpicks that
they're all legit.
Thank you. Sweet of you to say. The game crashed on me maybe 4 or 5 times, and here's the thing. There's more to it, and I'll get to that stuff too. RMC suggested that I put the game onto the hard drive of the Switch, because it is running off of the SD card. I was already like hours and hours into this game, and I went to switch it over to the hard drive, and I got a little message that was like, the save data cannot be moved over. Now, it probably doesn't mean anything. I could probably load it from the SD card after I get the game on the hard drive, but I was too nervous after so many hours put into the game to do that. So I was like, you know what, let me just deal with it. The bright side of the crashes is that it saves a lot. So when I load the game back up, I didn't lose any progress. It takes me right back to the very room.
Yeah,
it takes back to the very room. But so it hasn't. It's been a pain in the butt, but it's not like game breaking. Luckily, I've also been having this issue where, and it seems to only happen in boss rooms, where my dash button stops working. The B button stops working, and I can't dash at all. And the B button will work in the menus of the game. It works in the menu of the Switch. And if you manage to, I didn't realize how hard the game is without the dash, but if you manage to beat that room and make it to the next encounter, then it works again. So it's like a weird, like, dashing glitch that I've been having maybe 3 or 4 times.
Did you try other controllers?
It's not the controller, because it's working
only in that room.
Yeah, it's working in all the other menus and things like that. And last but not least, this actually just happened for the first time today. I got a cutscene at the end of an encounter, and I guess the cutscene triggered at the same time that I was going through the door to the next level. So it started the next level, and I couldn't move because the cutscene's up and like people are talking, but the enemies from that level are attacking me, and it was literally the second level, and I died on the second level. So that was kind of a weird glitch bummer too. That was annoying, but I also, like I said, I didn't get a chance to play the game off of the SD card. RMC played the game to completion and didn't have any troubles like I did, and he was playing from the SD card. I'm sorry, from the I'm getting confused myself.
Just internal. I played with it on internal storage. You played off SD card.
Thank you.
I know when games crash, sometimes that can be a fix. I don't know if that's the case here. I didn't have the game crash for me, but I showed you that there was another review from Nintendo World Report that said they suffered crashes as well. And then I found a Reddit thread where people were playing the iOS version and were having crashes. So you're not alone.
But you also, was that the first time that you were playing through again after beating Shredder? So maybe some of
that's what caused the cutscene.
That's what I mean. So like, that gave you a bunch of other things in your inventory or whatever. And
I think it was just the fact that when I've gotten to
expect people to just beat Shredder and be out of it.
I've
this kind of.
It's not like that. It's because I've been playing so much of it that I'm good at. When I finish an encounter, you pick a level and then you go to the exit, and I'll finish the encounter. And I'll like zip to the exit and then pick the upgrade and then go out the exit. Like I have this weird thing in my brain where I'm like, I don't have time. I'm sitting here with nothing to do all day playing video games. I need to get going to the next level. Like so it's been frustrating because I've been skipping a lot of the portals that have just been showing up out of sheer rushing. And I'm like, damn it, like you missed the portal again. So what happened was they wanted to show me a cutscene, and I was like out the door. So it was kind of like half me, half the game.
I'll read it later.
Exactly. But they made me read it then while I was getting beat up. But
Thank you, Donut.
That's the game. That's the game teaching you a lesson.
it, you
right
know,
there. They're
Splinter.
like, oh, you
Splinter's
want to
trying
skip?
to teach me.
You want to skip the cutscenes? We're gonna beat the crap out of you.
But and then the last thing. This is a me thing, and it might be exacerbated because I just came off of like a strong 2-week stint on the PS5 with Hogwarts Legacy, and the loading times in that game, like 2 seconds, and it loads up this ungodly gorgeous world, and I'll just sit there, and I think I have like mold growing on me from waiting for this game to load between worlds. But that's just my impatience.
Man, I don't even remember the loading. I
It's
know there's
so
loading there,
long,
but I don't
so
remember.
long. And like sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to the loading. Like almost every loading screen I've ever encountered in my years of playing video games, if there's something strange about it, like if it might load 3/4 of the way and then zip, or it might do whatever, like you know what the loading screens look like. In this one, it doesn't have like a rhyme or reason. It'll just be like loading, and it'll go halfway, or then it'll go all the way, but then it'll like restart the loading screen again, and then like you'll get a different loading screen, and it's like, why are there so many why is it taking so long to load?
I'm ready to blow your mind.
Oh man,
because this is not something to do with Ninja Turtles. This is something to do with every loading bar you've ever seen. They're all lies. They are not showing you the actual progress of anything loading. It's just there to make you think you're seeing the progress. We even have one on GoNintendo. If you see that little colored bar at the top that goes across the screen, that don't mean anything. That just is pretend that something's going on.
Well, this one I think is
This
real
guy's gonna say
because that's why it
conspiracy
acts
theories.
weird, because it's not. I'm not explaining it well, but
I played the game. I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying it's.
But there's
they
but
don't
in the
do what
fake
they say
ones,
they're doing.
right? In the fake ones, when it's quote loading, but it's not really, you're not watching the bar. Those are all like uniform. They do it. Yeah, it's not loading anything, but it's the same image every time, or it's the same icon, or it's the same animation, or whatever it is. But in this game, it's always, for me, it's always different. It always takes, like, it'll load all the way to the end, and then you'll sit there, and then it'll go halfway, and then back to loading, and then sometimes it'll be a little bit faster, and sometimes it'll take longer.
I mean, I can't speak to it being real or not. I can speak to that. I know almost all of those are not actually telling you anything. Maybe this one is. I don't know. But
I mean, they do show it like right before something is fully loaded. It
I'm
finishes,
telling you,
right?
and then
like,
I'm telling you, it's a great industry secret.
Yeah.
It's not legit.
Well, how
They're
about
not
like
legit.
once or twice, I think maybe twice this happened, where the loading screen disappears and it's like the black screen before you get to play, but it stays on the black screen, and it'll be black, and then you're like, do I have to restart my system? And like none of the buttons work, and then it comes on, and you're like, oh, okay. So that's happened like twice. Now, what is that?
There's still more loading
It's
to do.
just
and
like
it got rid of the
like
quote unquote loading screen before it should have. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well,
they're fake.
Well, so yeah, you're probably you're right, and I'm sure this one's fake too, and it probably is just a whole bunch of different fake ones. And there's a timer on it, like Nicky Hill's theme song, Werewolf. But yeah, a lot of fun. The music's pretty good. It's subdued. It's in the background, which I appreciate. But when you hear it and listen to it, it's pretty great.
How about that lair music, man?
The lair music's great.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. The soundtrack it's very good. Like, it's much better than you would expect for that kind of game. There's something to it.
There's also a late 80s, early 90s, like electric guitar
Very much
feel, kind of like I can't describe it, but it's got that. It's like if you were playing electric guitar on the wings of like a Top Gun jet in the 80s. Like it's got that feel. It's like crisp and clean, and it's almost overproduced, but it's got that, but it's like of the era. Oh my God. It's great.
I don't know if you noticed, but we were talking about this recently in regards to something else. I don't remember what it was, but there are songs in that game that make very quick references to other popular Turtles or familiar Turtles songs. There's like a couple songs that have like a few riffs, like 2 or 3 notes, and you're like, oh, that's a Turtles thing, but it's its own song. And I'm like, I see what you're doing here. And I love that kind of stuff.
They did a really great job with that kind of stuff, and it's got pretty good attention to detail. The enemies are fun to fight. The fighting is fun. Once you learn the upgrades and what works for you, that that starts to become fun. There's a lot more. Like, I'm sure this happened with you guys, but when you play Hades, I'm sure there are like power-ups that you will always be like, ugh, God, this one came up, but there aren't that many. This one seems to have, for me personally, seems to have like a few more that like I'm not too crazy about. But again, once you start upgrading, like the chance to get like the better upgrades, there's a ton of things to spend your coins on, and every single time you play, you're stronger, and it's just more and more addictive. So, like I said, Donatello is probably my least favorite just to play as. I won with Michelangelo, and I thought Leonardo was my best, but that one thing that I kind of do like about it is I don't want to say it doesn't matter who you pick, because it does a little bit, but sometimes I'll have like a really great run with like Donatello, or like a really crappy run with Michelangelo, and I don't know why, but it's interesting, and it doesn't seem like you have to pick the OP turtle, and like you pick whoever you want, and like it's
as the old saying goes, every turtle has its day.
Yeah, and I like the little things they say. I mean, some of them get repetitive, but I like all the voice acting a lot. I love the guy who, I know you probably hate him, but I love the guy who does Raph's voice. I
just don't like Raph. No, he's good, and I'll have to look it up now. I'm almost positive it's the guy who's Sonic in the game.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty.
That's interesting.
Sure.
Yeah, I like them. Actually, Michelangelo.
Raphael, you're too slow.
Hi, SD. Goodbye, SD.
Yeah, he's got like a really good accent.
When I played the game, I had a feeling you would dig Raph, and I didn't want to like spoil it for you. As far as the voice actors go,
I like him. Sometimes he's a little too rude for even me.
Give me a break.
Wow, that's pretty rude.
Yeah, but yeah, so some of the stuff he says is like really funny. As with Hades, there's like a shop.
Roger Craig Smith, that is the
Oh, really?
Man, yeah.
Roger Craig Smith.
He's done Resident Evil. He
was the voice of Chris, right?
Okay, every time I hear his name, I think Roger Clark.
I think that guy's got 3 first names.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm talking in circles now. It's
sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, I would say give it a go if you're waiting for Hades 2. It's not gonna be as good as Hades, but it'll definitely scratch like every single itch that Hades left. So
we don't know that Hades 2 is going to be as good as Hades, right?
Well, based on early impressions, it is. But
okay,
you can play right now in early access if you want.
Have you played Hades?
No.
Because that's one. Because I know you like the turtles. And when I
wanted to play it. I wanted to play it together, but you've already beaten it. And
no, it's not like you keep playing, but
I know
it's.
But now you're like powered up. You're Super Turtle. You're like.
Well, I'm just. It's
Toka and Razor.
I'm just. One of them's in this, I think. But I'm just curious if Nicky would like that style of game.
Everybody else seems to.
It's because it's very addictive. You know what I mean? Like every single time you go in,
you might like it playing with us. I don't know if you'd like it on your own, but I'm sure you would have fun playing with us.
I mean, I just have to stop whining about it being isometric.
That's true. I know you have a hang up about that.
I don't know why.
I don't know either, but we all got our hang ups.
I want to be there. I want to be on the floor, not looking overhead. I want to get me in the action.
Yeah, I actually had more trouble.
That's why you like solitaire so much.
There's nothing more action packed than solitaire.
It's, right there, you're in the action.
I was going to say I actually had more trouble playing the Turtles game that came out recently. That's like Streets of Rage style. What's that called?
Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge. I had more trouble playing that as far as like hitting the enemies on that plane than I did with this game. But
I wanted to play that multiplayer, and by the time that came, everyone was done playing that too. So collectible.
You got that cool VHS collectible at least. And Did we talk about? Yeah, we talked about Beyond Good and Evil. I didn't play it, but I pre-ordered the.
Oh, I
think we
meant to
talked about it
ask.
last week.
I'm sorry, I can't remember. Did you want to pre-order?
I pre-ordered it. What? Sorry.
No, I lost my train of thought.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, it's available now, isn't it?
Is that the one you wanted to pre-order, or was it
Yeah, but I
today? They opened today.
okay.
You could do it now.
Well, I'm supposed to get an alert for
You
it.
can
What the
do it
heck,
now.
Limited run.
Today, now.
Yeah.
Stop complaining. You can do it.
I misunderstood the way that their website is like laid out. The number that is on the link or like the photo
The
or whatever.
countdown timer or the number?
No, the number.
Okay.
I've said it to you personally.
Yes.
I didn't say it on the podcast. I don't think that's like the spine number. That's like the release number.
Yes.
For some reason, I thought that was the number of releases they were going to have of that copy.
Mhm.
So I was like, "Oh my god, that's only 100 and whatever. Gotta get it right away." But that's not how these pre-orders work. So,
Nope.
I mean, they
but
are
it
still
is-
limited in the release number,
Yes.
but they don't tell you how many is in each print.
I'll tell you, about 2,500 to 5,000 usually, depending on the game, more or less. Like
So it's
Lollipop
available
Chainsaw will
now.
probably be like 2,500, 3,000. Just open today. I'm sure they're still there, but you could snag one.
Well, Beyond Good and Evil is probably still available too, right?
Probably.
Man, that's sad. So thanks for listening to what I've played. I enjoy talking about this stuff, and this is a fun one, despite it trying to stop me. RMC, what have you been playing?
Thanks for asking. I was focused on vacation coming up this week, and I was like getting somebody going on vacation just messaged me right now.
Hey, are you going on vacation too? That's so weird.
My cousin texted me to remind me not to forget something that
Cousin
I have
Larry?
brought every single year, but he got to make sure.
Hey, he's just being thorough.
There's another word for it, but
What, the Switch?
no, he's always like, don't forget to bring the Ethernet cord and the tape. And I'm like, "Oh, I got it.
Is he doing that for you? Because you're the one who needs that stuff.
No, we all use the Ethernet cord because we do a little maintenance while we're there. The router is downstairs
Say no more.
and the internet isn't as strong upstairs. It's 3 floors. So we take a 100-foot Ethernet cord that I have here and run it up all 3 flights of stairs and put the router upstairs in the living room.
Oh, cool.
So
Nerds.
we got
I'm kidding.
Kindle
It's
readers
what
and we
I
got
used
people
to
playing
do at my
Smash
mom's
Brothers. We got
house.
people
Oh,
playing
it's 3
Fortnite.
floors. What
We
is,
got people
like,
on their phone. We got people streaming movies.
Man, this is like an MTV party house.
We got and everybody wants to hang out together. So most everybody's on the top floor. We don't need internet on the bottom floor where there's like
That's
2
right,
bedrooms and a
penthouse,
pool table.
X to the Z exhibit.
So I have to make sure I bring that. We bought new rolls of tape. I got the Ethernet cord. It's good to go. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Gone.
Games you played?
Oh yes, I was preparing for vacation and my mind was there and I didn't have the free time I usually do. So I was playing when I laid down to go to sleep. So that meant I only played, I played Fortnite, of course. I didn't get to play as much with Deux as I wanted to this week, but we did play a little bit. It had some fun. I'm enjoying it as always. Great times. I heard a rumor and I've seen rumors that Gwenpool is going to be added to Fortnite. And if Gwenpool is added, I would, sorry, Nicky Hill, 1 bazillion% buy that skin.
Oh,
That
no.
would be my default skin.
Gojo, what are you going to do?
Yep. He wouldn't be here long, but in the hierarchy of characters, I'd have to go with that.
Wow.
Wait, what's Gwenpool? Like,
You don't know her. She's
It's
related to Deadpool, but
Spider-Gwen and Deadpool
is
had
that
a
what it
baby.
is?
no.
Oh.
Gwenpool is like Deadpool, except her fourth wall breaking goes even further. She knows she is in comic books and can physically take herself, like she can climb out of panels into panels later in the book or into a different comic book. So.
Yeah, it's like hologram.
And she likes that, but also struggles with it because she's like, nothing's real and I can do whatever I want. So she's a very interesting character. I really like her. Plus, she's also like Deadpool levels of crazy too. So
And you read these comics, or like, what if you open the page and
Read
she's
this
gone?
trash.
yes, I read these comics.
Well,
She
no, I
had
don't know-
straight
I
up
don't know
left
if-
comics that I've
I don't
read.
know if
yes.
it's a comic or if it's like
It's a
some
comic.
sort of visual
comic
novel thing.
book. It's a comic book.
I mean, like you just turn pages and she's just not there.
You will see her sometimes get out and leave. Yeah.
Well,
and
that's too
like
much for me to
she's
handle.
like coming to the real world, kind of like the Simpsons thing. So like you'll turn a page and it's like somebody in cosplay and it's her, and I love the idea. It's really cool. But my favorite thing about it is how she like has an existential crisis about it all the time. So, but anyway, heard that rumor, and I've seen from prominent leakers that there's going to be something Gwenpool related. So I'm crossing fingers. If it's going to happen, it'll probably happen
Oh,
tonight. I
man.
don't know why it wouldn't happen. Tonight.
Really? That's kind of exciting.
But anyway, I've only been playing stuff on the Playdate. Again, thank you, Popple. It's all possible because it's all poppable because of you. So last week I said I was playing The Keeper. And this week I have finished The Keeper. Saw that through to the end. Did every little thing that's there, including the secret ending, which there's this key. There's 4 secret keys you can get, and they each have something associated with them, and you have to figure out how to use them to access the secret ending. And I took a little bit of time and figured it out. And I really liked The Keeper. The ending got me a little emotional. As I said, the game is about what they call a caretaker of an apartment building, because the previous caretaker, who was your grandfather, I believe, passed away, and he made you the caretaker, and you have to learn the ins and outs of this wild, fantastical building that has boats on the 7th floor that are looking at the sky, and like great underground mazes filled with water. And it's just a building that doesn't make any kind of sense, that has all kinds of weirdos in it. There's regular tenants. There's people that hide in the walls. There's ghosts that fly around. There's a rat that isn't sure if it was human at one point. Like all kinds of crazy stuff. Really like the game. Really, really like the game a lot. It's the whole building is a maze. And there were a couple times where I was like, I don't remember how to get back to where I was going. And, little bits of frustration of like, how do I get just back to that room that I wanted? But, you take a moment, you step back and you're like, okay, I know how to get to here. And I could probably get to there from there. And it works out. But the stories of the characters were great. The tenets of the building are what makes the game that much more interesting, and just really loved it. It was it took me probably about 4 hours altogether. So really liked that game. I also downloaded a game called Real Steel, REEL STEAL.
That's another Hugh Jackman movie, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, what
You're
a
right.
weird-
He was
weird
on. He was in
coincidence.
WWE to promote that movie too. He got up on the ring and punched Dolph Ziggler in the
I
face.
think they
man.
they said it was like Rocky, but with robots.
And Hugh Jackman to this day continues to apologize to Dolph, because he's like, I like really clocked him, and Dolph just like took it and was like, hey, it looked great out there. And he's like, I way missed what I was supposed to do and really connected with you. And he's like, no, they made
Dolph,
it great.
yeah, Dolph's being nice, but he owes him a receipt, and he's going to get
Oh,
it
he's
when he
gonna get
least
it.
expects it.
When Hugh comes back to WWE, that'll be it. He'll clock him. Except Dolph's in another company now. Maybe I'll be back one day. Whatever.
He'll just do it on the street.
Real Steel. It's a game where you are thieves
That's a Hugh Jackman movie,
that
isn't
go. Yeah, he was in the WWE. It's a game where you are lowering down a character on a very long fishing line, and they have to avoid like lasers and collect coins and stuff along the way. And at the bottom of this like safe is a priceless portrait work of art that you have to connect to and then reel it back up to the top and not lose it. And obviously that makes a lot of sense, because you have the little crank thing that you use when you play. So you reel it up and down. And it's a lot of fun. I've only done a couple levels, but I just wanted to try it out. Really liked it. And that game was free, actually. I also downloaded Bullfrog Deluxe. Bullfrog is...
Oh, I think we know.
kind of like Tetris. So blocks are falling. But instead of moving the blocks with the directional pad, you're a little frog that's in the game board, and you platform across the blocks, and you connect to them with your
Nicky,
tongue
didn't
and
you have
drag
this
them to
idea?
where you want.
I don't think this is like what I was saying, but I think this was another game somewhere a long time ago or something, where blocks came down and like the character had to climb up them or something. Or maybe this is something that I saw a long time ago for the play date. I don't know. What do I know?
I believe there is another game where you have moved around within the puzzle board, but it's escaping me at the moment. But again, you can move your tongue in like 8 different directions. You connect to the blocks and you drag them across. You can also break blocks to make them fit where you want to. You make a line to clear it. You have to clear a certain amount of lines to finish a level. It's a puzzle game, and it's got a unique little hook, and it's a lot of fun. I really liked it. It's pretty difficult, but in a good sort of challenging way, not a frustrating way. So it's fun. Really like it. I'm excited to play more of that. I also played Kranken's Time Travel Adventure.
These are so gimmicky, these crank games.
So Kranken's Time Travel Adventure. You play as Kranken. I mean, I could show you while we're sitting here. Kranken is this guy who has a lot of trouble walking, but he's trying to get this date with a girl.
Because somebody was yanking his crank.
He's trying to get a date with a girl.
Oh.
And you make him
But he's
walk
too busy
by
cranking his hog.
You make him walk by moving the crank. So he runs like this, but you can also do the crank the other way, and it rewinds time. So things come along, and see, like there's a butterfly, and I stepped on it by accident. So my date's mad at me.
Oh.
So I run.
Her father was a butterfly.
Coming, you can just stop moving the reel. The butterfly passes by, and then you continue on. Now there's these things. Oh, they hit my dick. I died. So robot dick. My mons pubis.
Kranken's a robot?
But it's really...
He's a robot. Here, go ahead.
He's going on a date?
He wants to date another. I mean, it looks like a robot to me. Some kind of mechanical
just
man.
The crank only?
Just the crank, yeah. Forwards and backwards to rewind time or fast forward time.
Now I know what you were talking about with the dark screen.
So I played that. It's a platformer, but with a really unique hook. I really like the idea. It's fun.
Unique crank.
So I've been playing that as well. So I'm having a blast with this thing, man. I love it so much. I'm gonna get that visual novel that I was talking about last week. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but
for this,
yeah.
Oh, is it the one that's like crazy detailed?
Man.
Yes, that's it.
Does Popple have one as well?
No, which I found out, and I was like, so now I will buy you one. Let me go to my email because it's going to drive me nuts if I don't remember the name of that game. You know what? It's probably going to take me too long.
I can't get past the butterfly. Unbelievable.
No,
you know what?
He suspects the butterfly.
Peace and love.
Date canceled.
Let me put it to sleep. Sorry. So anyway, I'm loving this thing. It's so much fun.
Peace and loving it?
No, just loving it.
I'm peace and loving it.
I mean, you gave it the old-fashioned do try. I know you're way better than that nowadays. I think outside of the podcast,
it's traditional. It's a traditional do try. Thank you very much.
You know, outside of the podcast, outside of you being on, outside of the pressure of the show and the time and all of that, I think you'd be fine. Echoes of the Emergent is the visual novel, and that is my next purchase. I will be purchasing that this week. Very excited for that game. But I got a whole list of them. But that's all that I played. Now let's do nope. Let's do thank you for joining the Patreon, Daniel. I appreciate it. Let's do questions for $1. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Go ninpod@gmail.com. They give me about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. Autumnal Blake has a question. I'm sending you this question from the toilet at work. Skibbity toilet? Michael Bay's Skibbity toilet?
Get what?
Go ahead. Get mad about
What
it.
up? What up with that? Michael Bay.
What up with that? Michael
got the
Bay seeing a
rights
property
to-
that's really popular and wanting to do a
But
movie.
what
Wanting to
is the
exploit it.
movie going to
I
be?
missed.
Here's a
what-
question for you. What is Skibbity toilet? What is it about? Do you know? Because it's ripe for a movie.
It's not. What is it about? It's not about anything. That's the
Oh,
thing.
that's spoken like a man that doesn't know Skibbity toilet. There's a whole lore. There's a whole cast of characters. There's a universe. There's a story. This is not me being facetious.
When I've
Not
asked,
just a meme.
when I've asked for the information.
Oh yes, the kids don't know crap.
Well, they're the ones that it's popular
These
with.
kids don't know nothing about Skibbity toilet.
They sure, some kids just love it for the meme, but other kids know all about it. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's. Some kids like it because it scares them. Some kids like it because they know the lore and all that stuff. It's how deep of a Skibbity toilet fan are you? You could be a surface level, and that's fine.
Is
But
there
others are deeper.
is there a way you could give me a quick premise of
No.
what the movie could be? No. Okay.
No, I'm not saying it to be a jerk. I don't know how to quickly sum up Skibbity toilet. Let's see if Know Your Meme has a page. Of course it does, but I don't know if it's going to have the lore on Skibbity Toilet.
I honestly
it's a series
already
of videos.
don't give a crap.
Yeah, actually, could you just stop saying?
Yeah. Let's get back to the
Skibbity
question.
Toilet.
I mean, if you can't tell me in a sentence what the premise is, I honestly don't care.
We need the
and I'm an
elevator
old
pitch.
man, so
No, can we just get back to the
I got
question?
2 old men on my radar.
I mean,
Who's
can you
who's
tell
the
me what
question
it's
from?
about? Besides acting all high and mighty, like tell us what it's about.
It's not about acting. It's a ridiculous internet thing.
Yeah,
It's
I
there's
was
a lot
reading
to
you
it.
the sentence, and then
and then you stop. Then you didn't
you
read it.
told me stop, and you told me stop. Yeah, so I
Well,
stopped.
I was kind of.
I mean,
joking.
I'm more just.
I mean, I
annoyed
don't
by
care either.
What
But you can keep talking.
I've seen of it.
I
and
was
that
joking, but I also don't care.
Michael Bay.
You don't need to explain. We'll all go see the movie together when it comes out.
It's an Blood Ocean says it's an apocalyptic war. Do Michaels? Thank you. That's all I needed. I love apocalypse movies. I'm going to see Skibbity Day
There you
One.
go.
Skibbity One.
And Nicky Hill, what will you call the movie?
That was the best episode of Skibbity
Garbage.
Baby
I don't know.
Names.
Oh, werewolf.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Anyway, Autumnal Blake is asking a question from the toilet. What do you usually do on the toilet besides what
Sitting
you're
on the
there
toilet.
for?
Sitting on the
I
toilet.
mean, nowadays everybody's on their phone
Sitting
on the
on the
toilet,
toilet.
right?
Yeah, you don't want to touch this thing.
And I don't get up till my legs are numb.
Back
Is that
in the
what I sound
day,
like?
I mean, we used to have magazine racks where we'd read newspapers and magazines. I used to read the
Yeah.
back of boxes and shampoo
So,
bottles.
That's
and
the question. What do we do on the toilet?
what do you do while you're on the toilet? Yes.
Sometimes I poop.
Yeah,
I said besides what you're there for.
I had
what
a
else
ton
do you
of
do?
Garfield comics in the little basket next to
Oh,
the
that's
toilet.
fun.
So Garfield comics or like
Garfield at large.
yeah, had all that stuff.
I had a piece of this dough and I don't know.
Yeah,
what to do with it.
yeah, that's so funny. Magazines and like you'd read the same magazines and the same
Yeah.
articles, or I'd
I've
have like
never
a
read a magazine on
video
the
game
toilet.
guide in there
What'd
or
you do?
something.
Crap or get off the pot?
When I was younger, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have anything in the bathroom.
Yeah,
to
I wasn't like a
entertain
big
myself.
toilet reader either.
I can't ever remember
No.
unless like I need to have something, otherwise nothing comes out.
I always read.
Well, Garfield was
something.
like the main laxative for you, kind of the relaxer, right? Like
That's why when he sees Garfield nowadays, he craps himself.
I can't even eat lasagna. I can't even look at lasagna.
Yeah, I was always reading something. I had Garfield. We didn't have a magazine rack in there, but we had every once in a while we had books like in there. I had Garfield. I had Far Side. I used to do a lot of highlights reading on the toilet. A lot. Goofies and Gallant Man.
Ooh,
Made me
Blood
crap
Ocean
myself like none other.
literally just said Highlights magazine.
Loved highlights. Also, I got a ton.
oh, but that's
of-
dangerous because then your mom takes you to the doctors, and in the waiting room they have highlights, and you go to read it there, and then you poop yourself in the waiting room.
Oh yeah.
Your
Pavlov's
son is no longer
dog's butt.
constipated. We gave him a highlights and there was something else. Lube and John is Savage eventually when they moved away from the Boy Scouts days gave me like I'm gonna say 100 different boys' life magazines. And I used to read those all the time. On
I
the
read
toilet,
Boys' Life,
back to
too.
back. Like
Just not on the toilet.
as I've said, I know I've said it on the podcast before. There was an issue with like they had like flying cars, and it was like the future of automobiles, where you didn't have to drive, and they had a person inside playing chess while the car's taking them to wherever they're going. I know,
that
like
what
I
the-
remember we
somebody
looked
li-
up
yeah,
that picture.
yeah, and it was amazing.
Is that what the Leonardo DiCaprio movie is about?
Boys Life.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Is that
I don't. That
Leonardo
movie name doesn't
DiCaprio?
even ring a bell for me. You got the two movie guys here. It's lost on me.
He must have been young. I haven't seen that.
I think it's.
Was he a boy?
Did he
Living
have a
his
life?
best life.
Yeah.
No. No. So that's Dew and I were furthering our minds on the toilet. Kirby and Nicky Hill were just there for the necessary.
I'm just trying to picture somebody sitting there just like looking in space while
Well-
poop comes out their butt. Like it just seems so weird. Like you need to concentrate
Well,
on something like
It's over in like less than like.
must be nice.
No,
must be
see, that's the
nice.
thing. I didn't spend a lot of time
Now,
on the
here's
toilet.
thing. If I'm sitting on the toilet, it means like I'm like ready to go. Like,
No, hold on.
I don't
I
know.
agree with you.
Okay.
But it was still enough time for me to read one Garfield comic or look at one Far Side comic. Yeah, it was a little treat. I was
Little
there for
treat.
like a minute,
Why
and
you-
that was that.
I didn't need a treat.
It was fun.
To,
It was
know,
fun.
Get my,
It was called This Boy.
There's something about being in the room and you're all by yourself, you're by your lonesome. It's just like
So
relaxing.
you don't use your phone or anything while you poop
well, I
now?
mean,
So you need a treat now. Interesting.
well,
Okay.
Here's the thing. I'll read stuff on my phone, but only if like, I'm trying to kill time.
Only if it's
I'm,
about
like, hiding
pooping
in
or
the
peeing.
bathroom.
Oh, okay. It's
Like
interesting.
I used to do this at a one of my previous jobs. Like
Oh, here we go.
if
Here
I
we
didn't want
go.
to like deal with anybody, I'd
Pooping
just,
on the
like,
company dime.
sit. Yeah, exactly. I would
Ain't nothing wrong
sit
with
on the
that.
toilet, and
Nothing.
just like read my phone. But no, I was never. I wasn't reading like a lot of like physical like books and magazines.
Yep.
Got War and Peace in there.
War and penis. That's what we did in the toilet. There you go. Thanks you all.
Well, no, it's War and Peace. You're dropping bombs and you're peeing in the toilet.
I know, but I like penis.
Mm.
Clip that one. We also have a Patreon question. Dude, did you know that you could join Patreon?
I did know.
Sorry, I should have given you more lead up. For $1, yes, Guy Bones did, and they said this. What did you collect as a kid or still collect? I used to amass a ton of stickers in a special book you could put them in, but also take them out while retaining the stickiness. What? All color forms? Also Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Still Pokemon cards after being pulled back in with the 151 set. I had Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I had a nice deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Never got to play as much as I wanted to, though. Wanted that damn arm thing so bad. I used to collect Pogs. Tons of Pogs. I had some Slammers I was really proud of. Don't know where they went to.
Yeah, I had a lot of Pogs. Now that
And
you
I had some
mentioned
metal
Pogs.
Slammers that I was so into. I had one that looked like a Shuriken.
Wow,
Shuriken.
that's cool.
It was like my pride and joy.
Pogs were fun. I liked
Pogs
those.
were fun. We
for
had
some
my
reason.
sister and I both had like giant tubes for our Pogs.
Yeah.
Man, love those. She had the World of Pogs, like like the play mat and the official tubes, and all. We were into them, man.
Wow.
They gave out Pogs at a parade. They were throwing them off a float, and I was like, my life's never going to get better than this. It was amazing. Those are two things that come to mind right away: collecting Pogs and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You guys, collections when you were a kid, or still collect now?
I don't think anything when I was a kid, except bruises.
Lego?
I'm just-
You got a lot of Lego.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't even call that collecting because now that I'm older, I buy them, build them, and like have them as like statues or something. Or I, buy them and don't open them, and that's the collecting side of it. So now I've been purchasing Lego because prices go up.
Yeah, Legos aren't cheap.
I was gonna build, so at one point I bought a Lego Wally. I think it looks great. I never opened it just because I was lazy or whatever. And at some point I was like, I should open this and just build it and then just enjoy it. And I looked up on like eBay what people were selling them for, and I was like, I'm not gonna open this because it went from like $75 or $65 to like $400.
Wow.
So I've got that. I've got the Simpsons house, which I never opened. Apparently, if you have the Quickie Mart, they sell much higher together.
Money.
Yeah, I'm spending, and just not really enjoying them because they're kind of stashed away.
And that's what collecting is. You hit a point where you're
Kind of.
like, do I really enjoy not using this?
I
or
mean, I
having
was
this?
actually just looking at the Lollipop Chainsaw thing, and I'm like, oh, there's a collector's edition. I'm not gonna why? I don't need it. I bought the Beyond Good and Evil collector's edition. I didn't need that either. So I need to rein it in. What are we laughing?
William put important news in the Discord. Deadpool and Werewolf are back in Fortnite right now, and I have the confirmation. William, no Gwenpool stuff in there, sadly. I like Deadpool, not enough to be the skin, though. But
Man, the pen and ink look though is cool.
I do like that. Yeah, that if you're gonna get me to go for it, that would be the way to do it.
I just today, because I liked the movie so much, when I was messing around in Fortnite, I switched my little whip to my Wolverine skin.
Ooh.
But it's not nearly as cool as the pen and ink one.
Yeah. Kirby, any collections? Homies, I'm sure.
Yeah, when we were in high school, I don't know if I'd even call it a collection because I didn't have a lot of them, but I would but I would keep them and I placed them on the shelf, you know, and I really did
Tuck them in.
like the homies. When I was a kid, I had a lot of GI Joes, but they weren't real. Like I can't say collection. Like I
Yeah.
played with them a bunch, but it wasn't like I was thinking like, oh, let me put these on the shelf and have every single one and all that kind of thing. I had a lot of Garbage Pail Kids, but
Oh, there
but
you go.
like
It
came
said
up
in the
and-
chat.
And I had that too. but
Somebody
I
was at
didn't-
Solmaster Link said no Garbage Pail Kids collectors.
yeah, I wouldn't call it collecting. It was just like my brother had a bunch, so then I would have a bunch, and I liked to look through them, even though they were so gross.
I also had
No.
baseball cards too.
Yeah, I had baseball
I
cards.
We are
had,
big
like,
sports
I had
fan.
like a sleeve or two of baseball cards, and I remember at one point going through them and being like, "Wow, none of these are. They're all stinkers." So it was like,
Yeah,
was that even a collection? I don't know.
my dad would do that for my brother and I when we were kids. He would buy us a sleeve of baseball cards every year. I guess because you never know like what's gonna happen, but we weren't interested in them really, so they just were just sleeves in the attic for the longest time till we ended up getting rid of them, and there weren't really any like big ones in there.
Blood Ocean says Hot Wheels. Anyone? I had Hot Wheels and Matchbox.
I had Matchbox and Hot Wheels.
I
Yeah,
had both, but again, I played with them, so I never would have considered that collecting.
I had
like,
Micro Machines as well. Solmaster Link.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Micro Machines I like the most. I
Those are
had
fun.
lots of little sets for Micro Machines, but for Matchbox I had the car wash. Oh my god, I love that
yeah,
thing. I
that
had,
thing
like
was
the,
awesome.
the parking
Oh
what do
yeah,
you call
the
those
parking
things?
garage.
Parking garage
Yeah,
with the
elevator.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
How
And I
about
used to drop them off into the car wash. That's all they did. They go from the parking garage to the car wash. and
Or
that was
how
it.
about the car that
They have-
changed color in the
Yep,
car wash?
Yep, I had one of those definitely.
I mean, it makes sense because if you go to a real parking garage, those
They're
cars
filthy.
parked there and they're filthy.
Oh, Blood Ocean. I don't think there's going to be any Thomas the Tank Engine people here. That was a little after our time. We certainly know of it and respect Thomas and love that song. But yeah, that was a little after our time. Kirby, I asked you, but I don't think you said anything if there was anything.
I might be in the same boat as Do Michaels. I mean, so if you played with any of these toys, is it still considered collecting?
See, it's the thing of like being a kid and collecting. Like, yeah, what you're not really a collector as a kid. You're just playing with toys. So I
And
guess
you're also demanding.
you
that
could have
get-
a collection, but you're not a collector of them.
Yeah,
But like with
I
Garbage Pail
ever-
Kids, you're a collector even if you don't mean to be. Because what else? You're not playing a game with the cards. You're
Yeah,
just
they just-
collecting them.
See, they just sit in a binder. But yeah, I don't remember ever like, deliberately trying to like complete a set of something.
I had Ice Dilbert says Estes rockets. I used to do those a lot, honestly, which is probably surprising to some of you, but I used to make Estes rockets and shoot them in the backyard all the time. I was going to say I had quite the collection of creepy crawlers. I used to make creepy crawlers
Oh.
all the time. All the time.
Did you ever like burn yourself on that the whatever the device is?
The
that
light
creates
bulb?
them?
No.
Yes.
Not on that,
Okay.
but on the Tasty Bake or the Easy Bake Oven, I did multiple times because
So
I
did you
did not
learn
want to wait
from-
for that food. No. And I should have waited. I should have just never eaten it because it never tasted
You're
good.
not
But the
supposed
idea
to
of
stick your
like,
hand in there. There's a thing to stick.
I
in
know,
there.
but sometimes you put the plastic thing in and like then the tray comes out halfway and you can't fit the plastic arm back in the right way. And you're like, I'll just grab it with my fingers. And then you burn yourself. And then it's like Homer and you're like, oh, I don't care. And then you eat the stuff anyway. And you're like, oh, it wasn't worth it because it's not done and it
crazy.
tastes bad. But
It's crazy that these things cook when like they have to be warm to cook, hot even.
I mean, you
Kids.
know, you're a little kid. 20 minutes seems like an eternity. And I'm like in my bedroom, like sitting on the floor. Like you have a moment where you're like, what am I doing? We got cookies in the kitchen that I could just eat.
Let's get real
Yeah, could you
vulnerable
imagine
here.
trying to get kids today to sit
They
through this
still
stuff?
sell them. They're there.
Oh, did you see the story? There was a story about some woman on TikTok was talking about how they got an Easy Bake Oven, and everyone in their family got like
Yes.
deathly ill. They all ended up in the hospital,
That's
and
a
they think
feature.
they think that it's because of something
Yes.
that was like inside a
Ugh.
chemical.
I read a lot about that. Yes.
It's crazy. But let's get vulnerable real quick. Anybody have like a booger collection
No, Stimpy.
or chewing gum?
No. Why
Mm.
did you?
No, I'm just trying to.
I saw a leak of the first 2 episodes of Ren and Stimpy, the new Ren and Stimpy.
No, there's a new one.
Pretty darn good. Very
Okay.
surprised. Very surprised.
Wait a
The
minute.
only-
Isn't watching a league like pirating or something?
They're shown in France already.
Oh. So you started
For the
French?
Olympics.
Yes. Really like, the only thing is
ceremony
Billy-
is right
not
now,
involved.
apparently.
Billy West can still do Stimpy perfectly.
The guy that did Batman?
He's like 80%
Adam West.
80% Ren. He can't do Ren quite like he used to. He can still do it most of the time, but
Yeah.
anyway,
How old is
I was
Billy
pleasantly
West now?
surprised. Jesus, 300. I don't know.
Okay.
But I was very
I
pleasantly
could look it up.
surprised. All the stuff that needed to be there was still there, like the gross out stuff, the gross ups, the kind of humor, the storylines all felt Ren and Stimpy. You know, there's episodes of the original Ren and Stimpy where I liked them, but they weren't great. And there's episodes that I loved. And just like this, there was episode that I really liked and one where I was like, it was good, but not my favorite. But overall, very happy with it. So there's that. No booger collections, Nicky Hill, and no
Did you talk about
earwax
your
collections.
collections?
No, I said everything I collected, I think. I started off with me.
Aloha.
Everything.
Well, I didn't say
behind you.
games because I imagine people would-
Games and anime. This guy.
anime. Well, my anime collection is still sitting here.
I do.
That was a serious collection.
Yeah.
I remember you having before you had to sell it all. Like it was decent.
It's still all here. I bought it back. That's what I did when I started making money on GoNintendo. I promised myself if I ever made the money, I'd buy all those back. And boy, was it a pain in the ass because it was years later and some of those things were out of print and more expensive. But yeah, will I ever watch them? Probably not, but they're all still here. They're right back there. That whole bottom is all anime collection. But also that was before streaming too. So I was like, I'll never be able to see them any other way. And it was also before anime was like popular like it is now. So but it was an excuse to go to Suncoast and see that girl. You remember her. I know you remember her. Those were the days, man. Yeah, anime collection. Somebody said Power Rangers. I didn't have a Power Rangers collection, but I did have those gloves that made the noise, and I used to annoy one of my teachers with it. But outside of that, nope, no Power Rangers. But I do like Power Rangers. I did used to watch it. That's that. We're done. We ain't got no music because my brain's busy, and that's the end of the show. We're done.
Okay, bye.
Would you believe that my spiders and flies haven't contacted
Oh,
me?
no,
Because I was in
They-
this thing the whole time, and I
Wow.
didn't get any flies or
They
spiders.
usually report in on Saturdays.
It's
Um,
true. It's true.
Wait, something's coming
Hold on.
to me.
Hold on.
From a spider and or fly. Yes, we've
Oh
got
my
something.
God.
Whew.
Oh,
They came
It was
through.
close. It was close, folks. It was
Wow.
close. So, folks, you know that.
Dues views. It's never news.
Thank you. Rumor of the week with Deux Michaels.
I thought it was starring.
I don't know why that gets me every time. Every time I want to be like,
I can-
I say.
I can see for a split second the
my
anger
face
on your
changes.
face. Yes, your face betrays you.
This is as much as believe it or not, I love doing this section. I know it doesn't seem like it, and I am never prepared for it. But
well,
this
you don't
is
have
a
to
lot
be
of fun.
prepared. They bring it to you.
And I
It's
think
true.
whether it's a spider or a fly, they're going to be billing you for overtime on this off hours.
Yeah, working now
Reporting.
to get the information. Yeah, it's true.
It's
Especially when
true.
they're trying to watch the opening ceremony of the Olympics. What did they tell you, Deux?
They told me a lot.
Oh, boy.
So, folks, when we talk about rumors at the end of the show on Deux Views section, I get spiders and flies rumors from the video game world, and they let me know rumors about games that I let you know before anybody else knows, which is amazing.
So succinctly said.
Thank you. Now, usually the rumor is a rumor. This time, it's a true
What?
story.
What? What?
It's true,
Kirby!
babies.
Oh my God!
What a
You're so
treat
lucky
that
the
you're
one
here.
time it's true.
This is
I
unprecedented.
can't
Oh my
even
God!
believe it. So I'll just go ahead and say it. What the rumor is.
Here it is, right here on
Please
these
do.
words that are
So
in front of me.
we remember that from earlier today, we talked about the Nintendo controller button collection keychains that caused huge lines and can be used for actual controller replacement parts. We talked about that.
I remember that.
Yes. Well, they gave 6 examples of what the keychains are, but that's the Japanese version. What we're getting over here in the Nintendo World Store is the
Nintendo New York or New York. What is it called?
Nintendo New York.
in Nintendo New York. Is that what it's called now?
Yeah, because they have Kyoto, Osaka, and God, I forget again. Kyoto,
Seattle. No, San Francisco.
Kyoto, Osaka,
Cucamonga.
and
Uh,
Walla Walla.
It's from The Simpsons. You ever seen it?
No.
Tokyo,
Seattle.
Osaka, and why can't I remember? Kyoto. We did them all. There you go.
Isn't there? Oh, there's one coming to Seattle. Is that what it is? Or San Francisco?
West Coast. Sure.
Sorry. What's coming?
Yeah,
to
you said Seattle,
Nintendo New York.
Cucamonga, The Simpsons, naming funny places.
Okay, sorry. What's coming to Nintendo?
So
NY?
we got two really cool keychains that are going to be exclusive to Nintendo NY, and one of them is the Virtual Boys D-pad, and and the other is actually, so if anybody remember that awesome like purple Z nipple that was on the GameCube
trigger,
controller.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting the Z nipple keychain as well for the GameCube.
I unironically, thank God this is true.
Yes.
I unironically think people would want that one like a lot because it'd be such a weird one.
It's so it's so weird, and they wouldn't have known what it was called until they saw the packaging.
The Z nipple. Yep.
Z nipple.
So yeah. So hey, you said it was from my spiders and flies are in France.
Solomon Link brings up a great point, and I was thinking of this. He says, which one on the Virtual Boy D-pad? Which one on the Virtual Boy, the left or the right? Because there are D-pads on both sides.
That's a great question. You should. I should. You know what? I'm not even gonna front. I don't remember what the controller of the Virtual Boy
They're
looks
exactly
like.
the same. It's like when you go to Domino's and it's like, do you want pepperoni on your left half or your right half of your pizza? And you're like, why does this matter?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why does it ask that? Why? Why does it ask that? There's no explanation.
That's strange.
Oh, it's great. There you go. Yes, that's what we want. Too bad that's only a rumor. The chainsaw controller buttons are what we want for
man.
Resident
Evil 4 GameCube.
Resident Evil 4, that's what it was. Yep. I'm sure a very comfortable way to play any game on the GameCube.
Oh my god, that thing is
like
so hideous.
Like a thumb trigger.
Yeah, it's
what the heck? There's weird.
Not Capcom's finest moment, but it's a thing. It's a collector's item now. People collect
now
that.
they have to remake it for the remake.
Oh, that's true.
They have to do a controller remake.
I think they did once already, and I'm not lying. I'm almost positive they did.
Well, now I need to come up with a new rumor for next week.
I'll have to look into that. But that's all we got this week. Guys, next week, I think there you go.
Oh, that thing's awesome.
I think the podcast is going to be on Sunday. I believe that's what we did last year. If anybody can make it, that's great. If not, no big deal. We'll do a 3:15, I guess. But I think that's what we did last year.
A week from this Sunday?
So not this Sunday, the following Sunday, because we were doing it the day we got home and it was a nightmare. And last year we did it the day after, and it's so much better because Mom Brain and I are just beat after that drive. Me being a passenger, Princess and her driving. But I think we'll do Sunday 3:15. And if anything else changes, I'll let you know. Also, this is the first time ever that I will be going to North Carolina and not working.
Oh, cool.
All the other staffers are going to be doing the site for the week. Quentz, the unlucky Quentz, is taking on my job. So Quentz will be covering everything that I normally cover. So he'll be the by proxy me for this week. He is very prepared. He knows what he's doing. I'd say you got nothing to worry about. Quentz normally does Wednesdays 9 to midnight and Saturdays noon to 3. So if you want a taste of what his work is like, go check out those times on the site. But he kills it. I really am. I could not be less worried at all. The man knows what he's doing. So thanks to the whole crew. Special thanks to Quentz for taking on this, the first time ever, the first person in history to ever do it. But on top of that, I have my phone with me. I'm bringing my laptop with me in case there's a problem.
And you got the Ethernet cord, baby.
I got the Ethernet cord, but there will still be Patreon posts. I'm going to write my Patreon posts while I'm down there. So you'll still get me on Patreon for $1. But that's what's going on. So it's going to be an exciting week for everybody involved. But that's it for this week. Thanks. We'll do after show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
So let's get back to this. Why does Domino's do that with pizza?
It was Domino's. Why did I think he said Pizza Hut?
Maybe Pizza Hut does it too. I don't know, but Domino's website specifically says.
Well, Domino's.
Oh, I should have. You're right.
Domino's are traditionally like a two-sided play figure thing, right? Like each domino has like a couple of dots on one side, a couple of dots on the other, left and right, north and I don't know.
I appreciate you trying to do something with it.
Yeah, I don't know why. There's no reason I could
Like,
think
who
of that would
has
be
someone gone to the
logical.
place and has been like, you put the Domino's, you put the pepperoni on the left and the peppers on the right,
Well-
and then they hand them the pizza and then they just spin it around to give it back to them. Like,
Well, here's the thing. Remember when that guy, that mentally unstable man, thought that Domino's was mocking him with the Noid character?
yes,
And like, took some employees hostage. Maybe they're afraid that like someone will be like, you put the pepperoni on the wrong side.
but they could still be like that if
here's-
they're handed the pizza the wrong way.
But
Well, maybe they.
is it with respect to the lid?
That's
you
what I'm
open
thinking.
the lid
They
up.
like, how do you want it when it's opened up? I mean, I know it
Okay.
sounds illogical because who
So
cares?
what happens when
but
you open a box and it's wrong? You're going to complain.
Somebody might if they ordered left.
So wouldn't that give
Left
them
pepperoni.
more reason not to do that then? Why would you want an extra reason for people to complain? Because then you have to make
That's
sure the pizza's oriented right when you hand them the
very
box.
true.
That's
Yeah.
insanity.
I don't know.
There's no one will ever be able to give me an explanation.
It's not
that
about
makes
when
it-
you
I
hand
wish
them
someone
the
could.
box. It's when you open it.
I know, but still, that's an extra spot where they could do something wrong.
Yeah. Are those the only two options?
And a pizza
left
can
and
spin
right?
inside a box while you're driving around. It sure could. You're telling me every pizza you've ever gotten that is half something is perfectly like that? It's never been askew this way or the other way?
Oh, it's round, and I don't know how it was put in the box in the first place. But sure.
How'd they
Yeah.
get it in there?
Wow.
So, so we don't know. There's that. I wonder if I called Domino's corporate if they'd be able to give me an answer. Yes, I still let me go back to
He
what you
said-
said because it matters to me and you. Huh?
Nothing.
Ice Dilbert wanted me to remind all WWE fans this week and the week after, you're watching your WWE programming, or you're watching Raw and NXT on Sci-Fi for the next 2 weeks. Sci-Fi, not USA, because USA is doing the Olympics. So Raw this Monday and Raw the following Monday, NXT this Wednesday
Why
and the
didn't they just
following
compete in
or
France?
Tuesday, and the following Tuesday is on Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi.
Isn't
Remember,
there's
also
a wrest-
NXT this week and the next, the Great American Bash.
There's a wrestling
with a
competition.
special appearance by Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears. What?
There's a wrestling in the Olympics. Why don't they just bring it to France?
The one in the Olympics is rigged.
My favorite thing about pro wrestling is all the science fiction.
Well, NXT used to be on Sci-Fi.
Oh man,
so
are they going to
oddly
fight
enough-
a Sharknado?
Remember, they changed it from Sci-Fi to Sci-Fi because they didn't want to pigeonhole themselves as Sci-Fi.
By
So
misspelling
it's
the name.
by misspelling the name because
Ah,
we're not just
brilliant.
Sci-Fi. We show other things, so we changed our name to Sci-Fi.
Ah, okay, all
There
right.
you go. I didn't realize the Noid was so into jerking people off. By the way,
He
Now that I
does
see this
look
on
like it.
Discord,
It does look like it.
It's the Aftershow.
He's into cranking.
Give me two old. He loves salami
Hey.
on his pizza, if you know what I mean. WWE reminder,
And
jerking off
mayonnaise.
Noid. We covered all the important
Ruin that
points.
pizza, baby.
Little Nate swimming
better.
in the Seine. That's
Uh,
what we talked about, right?
Man, does that water still look horrendous? Why have they not put up a big stink about like that?
What are we
thing
talking about?
Where they're swimming in that shit
Oh.
river.
Which one?
They don't have a backup.
They never made it back up because they said it's going to be clean.
What if
And
it's
then
raining?
what's her face got
The
in there
same.
and swam.
What if it's raining? Like what
I
if
would
it-
want it to rain.
What if there's a thunderstorm, folks? Like you're not supposed to swim if there's lightning, and they're just going to go
That's
for
true. That's true. What are they
Or-
going to do?
Do you think they're
Less than
checking
30
all
minutes
the
after
competitors to make sure they haven't eaten
it?
30
They're going
minutes
to end
before
up.
they get
They're
in the
going to
water?
end up at a Ramada Inn, swimming in the indoor pool.
Ramada Paris.
It's going to be like they're going
Oh, so no diving in that pool.
250
Well, what
laps.
do you want from us?
Yeah, between the bad weather potential or the diarrhea water, I'd be more worried about the diarrhea water.
Man,
Same.
what a misstep.
I don't know why they were so dead set on doing that.
Swallowing as I swim.
Yeah,
Weeding out the most
and I
dedicated-
just hate that that these politicians, doesn't matter where they are in the world, like they're so proud and they can't back down. Like why?
That's
When I heard that people were going to be doubly pooping in the river on purpose, that's when I'd be like, you know what? Okay, we'll cancel it. I mean, I don't have to have people swim in this river. Why? Like,
Yeah.
why are we?
I don't ever know
Why are we doing
I don't know
this?
why in the first place they decided this is where it's going to
It's
be done.
insane.
They were like,
Because
let's
they
save
don't-
some money. We
just
won't
back
build
that's what they're doing.
down.
They're saving a ton of money.
We'll save the money. We won't build the thing. We'll kill a few people with the poop water, and that's fine.
Just back down for once. I mean, it's not like some political debate. It's the
Health
the
and
poop
safety.
river.
Yeah.
Like, don't swim in the poop river. Why is this even a thing?
Because money. The money.
Merde le water.
What was I?
Swift.
Oh, yes. I watched that Climax movie, and
Hey-o.
there's one part where they're talking about people being tired, and I heard 3 times in a row, today 50 gay, and I was like, oh,
Nice.
it makes sense to me because Deux says it.
Is
So
that movie in French? I didn't realize.
some of the people are French and speak French. It's in a few different languages. It's definitely in French and English, so it's in a couple different languages. And I think there's another one in
I
there.
think that director.
The
I don't know if
the
the
language of
director is
dance
French.
as well is in that.
Oh crap! What did he direct again?
Oh,
Remind
crap.
me.
Irreversible
Oh yeah, he's French.
with Vincent Cassel, right?
And Monica
Howard
Bellucci.
But Monica Bellucci.
There you go. We had an after show that had some important information. WWE, Poop Water,
What
Olympics.
rules, you sons of
And
bitches?
Climax, the movie. Go if you like movies that make you feel uncomfortable, go watch Climax.
Oh boy, be careful suggesting.
what do you mean? It's the after show. You got to be. What do I got? Don't unless you're 17 or older legally, don't go watch it. But it's not like it's a porn. It's an R-rated movie, and R-rated for
Is it?
nudity and dance.
Is it R-rated for sure?
Oh yeah, there's naked people in
It's
it.
not NC-17.
No, I don't think so.
All right,
Look, you know what? Look it up.
I'll look it up. You want to look it up?
I'm sure typing in Climax on the internet will get me exactly what I want. It did. Wow. No, got me a different movie. Climax movie. Did you mean Climax
is
to
R.
a movie?
It is R.
There you go. R. Yeah, because it's got nudity, blood, drug use,
And French.
French. It's a big one. That's it. Nudity, drugs, and French.
The French.
Blood, nudity, drugs, French.
The
All right,
French
that's it. We've done enough.
champagne.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. If you're into the Olympics, go watch the Olympics. Cheer on whatever nation, country you want to. Let's just have them all let's just watch them have a great time, and everybody gets a gold medal. That's what I say.
Poop in your bathtub and watch from the bathtub. In solidarity.
We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
That is really